Hey, folks, make sure you get out and vote.
He's going to need
Vote for a better change for Americans. Better change for the world.
On this week's episode of That's Aaron podcast, we have Al Foran, entertainer, comedian, podcaster, impressionist. This is one hell of an episode. I really enjoyed this one. I think you will too. Strap yourselves in and enjoy.
Al, an absolute pleasure to have you here this evening in studio.
Lads, thanks for having me.
Down in Montana.
Down in Montana, yeah.
Montana.
What a road trip, eh?
Yeah, you thought you were going to be kidnapped there.
All the way from the Hollywood Hills of Bettystown to the dark depths of hell of Montana.
That's the antelope out, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, the cattle, everything was out
A
there.
few horses along the way.
Listen, I'm on a Yellowstone buzz right now. I'm watching it, so yeah.
I haven't watched it yet, but I hear it's great by all accounts.
It's very good. It's very good. I actually chronologically started from 1883, which is the spin-off series, but it came out after Yellowstone. Then 1923, which is another spin-off series with Harrison Ford about the Dutton Ranch. And then I eventually ended up into Yellowstone. And I'm into the third season now.
That's a HBO show, is it?
No, Paramount Plus.
Oh.
Kevin Costner. He's great. He really is great.
The Bodyguard.
Yeah, we must watch that.
But he does westerns perfectly.
He has that,
He
has that aura.
Yeah.
He's
the modern day John Wayne, I would say. Eamon Dunphy would argue that, baby. Yeah, there he is, the quiet man. Great guy was John. Great guy. Staunch Republican, but a great guy, nonetheless. A real man's man, you know. I loved how he walked as if, you know, he had a number 2 in there somewhere and made it look cool, you know. So if you ever had an accident or ever on the construction site or school or whatever, just think of John Wayne, baby.
All I could think of there when you said he was a good man, was he?
He was a great man.
He wasn't like Rod Little.
No. Didn't run away from his wife for a young one.
This podcast is strictly over 18.
No, stop that. Early.
Oh no, Eamon, you can't be saying that now. You started it. You just pointed at Bill. Oh, the glory days.
Oh yeah, that was just comedy.
One of the most iconic moments in RTE pundit history.
It definitely. Well, there's a few. Yeah, I always go back and watch his best bits. I do. I watch his best bits, and some of them are just fantastic. What was the one? He wasn't actually on. It wasn't the actual panel, but he was on with Miriam O'Callaghan and 2 other fellas. I think it was a journalist and one other guy was with the FAI. And they were talking about Roy Keane. It was when Roy Keane came back into the fold with Brian Kerr. Sorry, this is the music podcast but we'll get into the music. And the 2 lads they were talking shite, like, you know. And Dunphy just goes, where did you get these 2 from? Where did you get these 2 guys from? They don't know what they're talking about. It's just that was the funny.
He's pure gold.
Oh, he's brilliant.
Did you ever bump into him?
I did, yeah. I did a gig in 2017 with him, and I did Chris Eubank, and I said to him, as Chris Eubank, I said, you know, it's to be here in Dublin again, you know, where my rival Steve Collins is from. I believe he's from Castleknock. And he goes, I'm going to stop you there. Steve Collins is from Blanchardstown, not Castleknock, baby. Go back to doing your impression now.
What is hypnotist?
Firmly put in my place.
You got put in your box by Eamon.
Yeah.
I remember telling you the story of bumping into him with a couple of lads from college outside Fallon and Burn. We were coming from Music Maker after gawking at a load of drums.
Let me guess, you ended up in Lily's, did you?
No. And we were just walking back to college, and he was after coming out of Fallon and Bourne with the shopping, and we sort of go, "Jeez, there's Eamon." Yeah. The head going, "Well, Eamon, well, that's well." The sheepish is like, "Jesus, these boys gonna roast me."
But he enjoyed the crack, did he? Obviously seen some.
Oh, he loves the. Yeah, he was great. Like, he was just a bit of fun, you know.
Crack. But thanks again for coming up, Al. Maybe for the few people that aren't aware, very few, give us a wee backstory of I know you're a podcaster, you're an impressionist, an entertainer.
I do my best, yeah. MC, dabble into every single form of media and entertainment. But I've been doing the impressions now full time since 2015. You know, I've made a career out of it. I've been lucky to have, you know, done some of the craziest and most kind of prestigious gigs there is, and you know, I'm very lucky to be in that position. And you know, it's all kind of down to, you know, the power of social media, you could say.
Yeah.
That's how it all really kicked off for me. But yeah, I've been doing impressions since I was a kid of family members, and then eventually it led to football personalities, actors, boxers, celebrities, you name it. So it's been a fun ride so far.
It's definitely been entertaining over the last few years watching your stuff. It's quality stuff.
It's great. You know, it's fun. I don't upload as much as I used to. I want to get back to that again. I always feel like you have to upload at the right time.
Yeah.
You have to put your content out there. I'm very iffy about it. Whereas years ago when I was on Facebook, I'd put my mum in the videos, and my mum was like a star, and I have to get my mum back in the videos. Yeah. She keeps asking me, she goes, when are you going to get me back in the videos? We'd have a bit of fun, pet. You know, my mum is a typical kind of Dublin mammy, you know, Irish mammy, yeah. Everyone's pet, darling, sweetheart. But she loves the crack. She loves the crack, you know, and I think that's where I probably get it from, you know.
And was it at a young age you started to take off the uncles? And
yeah. My two uncles, you know, Jimmy and Jerry, I would take them off all the time. And then on my mum's side, my uncle Donald and cousins and stuff like that. I just used to, I think I started mimicking family members that I love them now, but at the time they annoyed me. They'd say something to me that annoyed me, and I'd mimic it as a little kid. But it's picking up on the mannerisms as well. Yeah, that's one thing.
I have a buddy who he's not at your level, but he's pretty good.
Yeah.
And like you just said, you'd be, you know, the mannerisms. But I remember actually being in Manchester with him. I think we actually might have bumped into you one night. And you'd be in the pub, you know, and everyone would be having a crack, and this one guy, his nickname is Gormo, he'd be standing, he'd be like, what are you doing? I'm studying you. You'd be getting your trades.
Oh yeah.
And he said to me one time, I don't know if I ever told you this, I said, go on, do me, you know. And he goes, oh, you're hard to do. I don't know. And he done something one night. He was in the pub, and I didn't realise I'd do it. When I'm out, and if I'm watching United or something on the telly,
yeah,
I'd ever so slightly tilt my head back like this to watch the telly.
Yeah.
And I hold my jacket like this.
Okay. And he picked up on that.
The minute he did it, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I do that. Yeah. And like you said, like that's the type of thing you start with that maybe, and then I'm not putting words in your mouth, but that's what he did. But like, yeah, he was like, yeah, I'll study it. But it obviously takes time to get to your level.
Well, if you look at my older videos on YouTube, you might find them from 2010, and I'm wearing a diesel hoodie, not the diesel, the Irish diesel, and I used to work there. I worked there from like 2010 to 2013. But I'm doing loads of impressions, and you look at them now and you'll go, geez, they're shit.
Really?
Yeah, so you have to work on them. You'll always have the ability to do these kind of things, like in any kind of profession or sport or career or whatever. You'll always have the ability to do something initially, but you also have to kind of build on that ability to make it a bit better.
Yeah.
You know. to spruce it up a little bit.
So, like, if a new celebrity or new influencer becomes popular and you want to take them off,
I gotta watch them, and
it's obviously some are harder than others.
oh god, yeah. Like Klopp took months.
Once.
Oh, for sure. You know, but when you're doing club, it took a very long time. Yeah, for sure. That's it. You know, and you have to learn all the mannerisms, and you have to be very serious. And then 1 minute you're very happy. Yeah, for sure. You know, the pressure's off me now. All the journalists are my friends. You know, I'm not as snappy as I used to be. So for sure, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good.
But there's a lot of movement. You know, he's very fidgety. Yeah. He's very he's busy. Klopp's a very busy man.
Which one kind of came not natural, but which one did you? Pesci, it seems you have that. Like,
because my brother did it.
Okay.
My brother did Pesci years ago. My brother was an actor.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he was in more of the Buttons. He was in Into the West as a kid, and he was mad into, you know, the Italian American, the mafia movies and all that.
Goodfellas and all that kind of crap.
I watched Goodfellas at an early age, so that's why I can do those impressions.
Yes.
You know, the
Carlito's Way and all the good ones.
Yeah, all those movies. I watched them as a kid. Like, you know, movies. This is a music podcast, but movies is my number one thing. Like, I studied film in college.
Right.
You know, so I learned to do a lot of these impressions from watching films at a young age. Wow. You know, but Goodfellas, don't try this at home, folks. But yeah, I watched it when I was like 8 years old.
Oh yeah, that's lovely. Yeah.
I would have been more The Departed. That's telling my age. That was my Goodfellas.
The Departed,
when the boys come back to Pesci's mother's house.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Fucking still alive. I forget what the actual
He's still alive. Or the painting, when they're looking at the painting. It's fucking him. Can you believe it? It's him. There's De Niro at the top.
Yeah. That's such. It has to be probably in my top 2-3 films.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's so good in that.
He's amazing.
He's so good.
he's incredible. It's one of the best films ever. There's a lot up there that competes with it now. I'd say people in a couple of years will say Oppenheimer. You know, I think Oppenheimer.
Who's good?
Will it stand the test of time?
I don't know.
It's won a lot of Oscars. There's Oppenheimer, there's Pulp Fiction. What did
you think of the Irishman?
I thought it was good. I thought Pesci was absolutely amazing in it. I thought the fact that he didn't play the hothead this time round, he actually played the cool, calm and composed character.
Scary.
He was actually scary. He was a lot more scary in that than he was in
not the funny guy.
In Goodfellas. Yeah, he's
not that
just
it was fun. Well, it was
what it is.
Yeah, it's what it is. Like, and one look, all it needed was one look. When the whole thing, the scene with Joe Gallo, like, he just gave De Niro a look. I thought De Niro was okay in it.
I think the effects ruined it.
I think people, when they think of the Irishman, they'll think of the scene where he drags your man out of the shop and beats him up.
And the daughter's like, "What did you do that for?"
I know, but it's you watch that scene, it's comical.
He's so slow.
He's wearing platform. He's meant to be like a fella in his like early 30s. He's meant like there's barely any movement. It's like watching Hulk Hogan.
He's waiting for the other foot to stand.
It's like watching Hulk Hogan circa 2003 to 2006.
What do you call him? Directed that, didn't he?
Scorsese.
Yeah.
That's
but then, have you seen Killers of the Flower Moon?
Yes.
Brilliant.
Great.
De Niro is fantastic in that.
Unbelievable in that.
I love when he does that southern accent, when he talks like that.
I love that. You know, I do love women. So.
I do love women,
With DiCaprio, he's like, you keep her wrapped up. You didn't get to catch anything, you're not.
But he was even Cape Fear. You know, if he did the southern kind of accent in Cape Fear, he was amazing in that.
I haven't watched it.
Have you not? It's absolutely frightening.
Yeah, he's so good. Heath.
Heath's great.
Meet the fuckers.
Even
he's brilliant in that.
Meet the Parents is brilliant.
Meet the Parents and that, you know. He is very good. But right, let's go back to the music.
Yes, please. Yeah, this is why we're here.
We want to talk about your music influences growing up. What were you listening to? Who was on the in the water.
From what? Yeah, okay.
From early days, we say. What's your first kind of memories of?
My first memories of music would have been the likes of Elton John.
Yeah.
Would have been played in my house a lot, and my mum owned a hair salon in Ashburn, and we lived in Swords. So my mum would always drive me to play school in Ashburn, and then I'd go to my minder in Ashburn. So she'd always have. This would be early in the morning, so before 9 o'clock, she'd switch on to 2FM for Jerry Ryan. But she used to have the Pulp Fiction soundtrack.
No way.
Yeah, so that had all the
Berry,
Jungle Boogie, Chuck Berry, Dusty Springfield.
Yeah, it was a good mix on that.
Yeah,
there was a great
Son of a Preacher Man. So all those songs I remember as a kid, and she had the Elton John greatest hits as well. It was one of his earliest greatest hit CDs. It was a blue CD. I think it came out in like the late 80s. It was like when he had just released Sacrifice.
Oh yeah.
So it was that kind of that was the greatest hits that she had. Yeah. And my dad as well. Like a lot of my influence from music came from my dad. Like he would have. I always remember as a kid, one of my earliest memories of like a song was Crash Test Dummies, the song.
Yeah.
My dad loved it, and he I think he had it on CD and he constantly played it.
What movie was that?
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber, yes.
It came out in 92, wasn't it? And it was number one here. It got to number one. It was a one-hit wonder. I think it's one of the best one-hit wonders of all time. Up there with Vanessa Carlton, 1,000 Miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 Canadians, by the way. Those Canadians, they know how to make one-hit wonders. But yeah, that was kind of my earliest memories of music with my family, and my brother my brother would play Oasis, and you know, he had the Definitely Maybe album and What's the Story, Morning Glory. My brother was 10 years older than me, so you know, that was his thing in the mid-90s, and I don't know what the hell happened to him. He just stopped listening to Oasis, and he got into like Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin, the Rat Pack. He got into that. That was it. That became his thing. Wow. He for years, and then Billy Joel.
Okay.
He had Billy Joel's greatest hits. So it just my memories with with my parents, my mom, my dad. I have a mix of and then my brother with Sinatra and Billy Joel.
That's a big change, isn't it?
Sinatra probably wouldn't be your thing, but I could listen.
Oh
to
no, I like
long.
Sinatra. Jeez, my wife loves what do you call him? Dean Martin. Dean Martin. Oh man, that's all she plays at home.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
That's unreal.
Yeah, her dad was a big like, as I said to you last night, like about the time machine.
Yeah,
you know,
it is. It's essentially a time machine.
Yes, yeah.
Brings you back to that memory. Like, you probably thinking now about the drive to your mind.
Massive part of my memories of music is that drive from the back roads from Swords to Ashburn. I always, what song comes to my mind is Alanis Morissette, Ironic.
Yeah.
Because that song was in the charts at the time, and it was on the radio.
Getting a lot of airplay,
it was getting a huge amount of airplay. Yeah. Like Alanis Morissette in the mid-90s was a massive...
huge.
She was a huge presence, yeah.
We've had a lot of people speak about Alanis Morissette.
Yeah, we have, especially
fans
people,
in the 90s, growing up. Not everyone, but
a lot of people talked about her being...
That album, what's the name of that album?
Oh, I should know.
Jagged Little Pill.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah.
Brilliant album.
It's a brilliant album, yeah. That was her debut album.
Talking about albums, do you remember the first album you bought?
So, before you had mentioned 2001, was that your...
That wasn't my first, but it was up there.
Okay.
I have a bit of a story. I have a story. I remember, I think I trick my mum into... There was a censored version of 2001. And there was an explicit... Yeah, no, my mum didn't... She didn't understand the explicit content. It's a little sticker. And she thought that was a censored one. And I got the 2001. Yeah. And I was 8 or 9 at the time. That was my first... Was that my first album, or was it the Slim Shady LP?
Oh, man. That would have been a good one.
It was either one of those.
Yeah. Man.
And I got, I had the Marshall Mathers LP. I had the Eminem show. Like Eminem just
The
was
Eminem
a
show
huge
has
thing.
to be one of my favourite albums.
Amazing
Start
album.
to finish, like opening with
Even
business.
the comedy, a bit of skits in it.
The skits in it.
Yeah, even the runs.
It's
like
pure-
for Soldier, the skit before that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
he's fucking kissing a dog. It's like, what are you gonna do? It's straight, it rolls in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pure genius.
Pure genius.
Yeah.
Dre's album 2001. Man,
Iconic, isn't it?
the beats in it.
Yeah. The Watcher.
The Watcher, yeah.
No, yeah.
The Watcher is that's the
A lot of people.
the track
even
that kicks it
people
off.
Talk about the drums on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just incredible.
Yeah.
Who do you think's a better producer, Dre or Kanye?
Ooh. I would have to go with Kanye.
I knew you were going to say
Would you
that.
go with Kanye?
I probably would. Like
What
Dre,
do you think of?
slightly, just just Kanye's stuff is just outrageous.
Oh man, but you have
His first 3 albums are
Yes.
the stuff of legend.
Yeah,
Kanye.
Yeah.
I think it's the story behind
And he's
it,
sick of
though,
people telling him that.
more than anything that gets me going with Kanye is like even his bars are like you lock yourself in the crowd for doing 10 beats a day or 5 beats a day for 3 summers. I'm supposed to do these numbers.
Yeah.
That's all
The
the thing.
mindset of him.
Yeah, like just
Yeah.
that he locked himself in and it was repetition after repetition after repetition.
Look at what Dre did.
But Kanye West tapped too much into his genius.
Yes.
That was the
He
problem.
went to
crossed the
extreme.
bridge.
He crossed the bridge.
bridge
And I think he will
They
come
had a
back.
boat behind him.
He will come back down to that reality again. I do feel that he'll have another banger of an album left on him. Just some of the stuff that he released. The last album was grand. It was a little bit. You could say it was.
Naked but beautiful women don't just fall out the sky.
I know. It was a little bit more, you could say, formulaic than the previous albums. I think there was one album that he released that had like 7 songs in 2018.
gospel stuff then.
And the gospel stuff,
Yeah.
Have you ever seen him live?
Never. I wish I could see
You
him
got to
live.
see
I
him.
got to see him in
Bonnaroo.
Yeah, Bonnaroo. It's a festival in Tennessee when I was in America.
No way.
And
What year was this?
2008.
Oh, this is him at his prime.
But man, right, so the headline acts were it was over 2 days, 3 days. But the headline was Metallica and Pearl Jam, right? They were the headline.
Oh, Christ.
Right? But
What a festival.
Chris Rock done stand up to 80,000 people.
No way.
Yeah. And then Chris Rock finishes his set and there was the MC for Metallica coming out mental, right? But
That's unreal.
so Metallica finished and it was meant to be a late set for Kanye West.
Yeah.
And the stage was being set up. It's like 11, 12 o'clock midnight. No Kanye, what's going on? Like, I think there's room. I suppose Twitter was out then, was it? I think it was.
Yeah, Twitter.
Yeah, and then it was like,
But if
he's
just-
late. He's still in Chicago. I'm like, what the hell's
Yeah.
going on? So, 4 o'clock in the morning, he comes on, right? Place is still packed.
Yeah.
Sun, man, this is like a movie, man, right? The sun starts flat. Tennessee is flat.
Yeah.
Flat. And you just see the crest of the sun coming up. And then, good morning. Lads. It was meant to be.
That's special.
Oh man, he finished at 6 in the morning. It was crazy.
That sounds like the best fucking
He got a
festival.
lot of shit for it because he was late. I was happy out. We were having a few beers, having a crack, and to see that with the sun coming up and him open with that.
So you saw Metallica, Pearl Jam, and Kanye West in one night or one weekend.
One weekend, I seen
Okay.
Metallica, Chris Rock, and Kanye.
Chris Rock as
in
well.
24 hours. And I got to have a beer with Glenn Hansard during the day. He was
No way, he was playing as
He
well,
was
was
playing
he?
with the chick he was with. Remember that song they had, Fall?
Yes,
Slowly,
yeah, yeah.
So we had a tricolour like this, and
Yeah, but Glenn
of course,
spotted it. Yeah.
He was playing on a smaller stage, big Glastonbury kind of thing, and of course we had.
Is this festival still going?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Bonnaroo.
Bonnaroo. I've never heard of it.
A-R-O-O, isn't it?
Like I've heard a lot of Palooza.
Yeah, it's. I tell you the truth, is when I was living out there, a couple of guys from RD where I grew up, they were like, oh, we're coming out, we're going to this festival, like you said.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is Monterey? I never even heard of it.
Yeah.
They were like, look it up, and I was like, shit. There was like what I just said, and then there was Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin.
Oh, wow.
MGMT, I don't know if you remember that
Yeah.
band.
Of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
Leslie
Time to
Keel.
pretend.
Yeah, class.
Yeah.
Who else? I can't remember off the top of my head. But Glenn, back to Glenn then. So we seen the tricycle, he's like, I use proper Irish, like, or you just like, you know. We're like, no, he heard us then. We're like, I see he's after. And we're like, yeah, sure. So we finished the set. He's like, where's the Irish boys? You know, and we're like, he's like, come on up, brings us backstage. And he's like, what's the crack, where he's from? We're like, oh, we're from Loud and blah, blah, blah. Hi, do you want a beer? Yeah, have a beer. I had the crack. And
No
he goes,
way.
look, let's just have a beer and put the phones away, lads. Just everyone put the phone on.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
And he can chill out and we'll have a beer.
Yeah.
And sat for like 20 minutes just short. He's like, I have a gig in Chicago tomorrow. I want to stay for Metallica. I'm trying to get out of it. Yeah.
Good laugh. I would be too.
Yeah.
But we got a camper van, Al. We got a camper from New York and we drove down to Tennessee over 2 days. And some of the stories was just mad. We didn't even know where we were. We were pulling into these RV parks. And we were like,
So you drove from New York to
Yeah,
Tennessee.
yeah.
How long was that drive?
you could have done it in a day, like, but we stopped.
Oh, you have to stop.
We
Yeah.
stopped. Like, one of the boys was driving.
Do you put it on like Google Maps?
Yeah, we
It'll
Google.
say 24 hour.
Yeah. I'd
Yeah,
say it's
it'll
probably about,
show
like,
24 hours.
18-hour drive, I'd say, straight. But we pulled into this, like, I mean, pitch dark. Like, we were in the country. We didn't even know what state we were in, right? So we seen, like, signs on the highway, like, RV park. We had a big 30-foot RV, right?
Yeah.
Didn't even have a license for it. We had a car license.
Jesus Christ, this sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I am so jealous of you right now. This is fucking.
But we pulled in.
Because I went on a J1 and I just stayed in Chicago for 3 months. It was great, but like what you're doing is
We pulled
unbelievable.
into this place and we were like, where are we? You boys are in West Virginia.
Well, oh Jesus
Right?
Christ!
And we were like, okay.
Deliverance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was like, where are you boys from? We're like, oh, Ireland. He's like, oh man, right. He goes, don't go down by the creek. I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to know what's in the creek.
Oh no.
I was just like, where can we get beer and where can we just come back? So that was one, but we got. I tell the story about the other place. So like,
Oh no, that is funny. Yeah, tell that one.
so we left West Virginia and we went
West Virginia.
down to Tennessee, Manchester, Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
It's about an hour outside Nashville. But we got a day early. I think the festival started on the Thursday and we got there like on a Wednesday. I think I told this story before, sorry if anyone was listening. But so we pulled into this campsite, Whispering Oaks, I can still picture it, right? Fucking like something out of a movie.
Yeah.
And your man's waving us in, there's a couple of people there early for the festival. The festival's only up the road. He's like, yeah, there's your slot, plug in your toilet here and your AC's here. You boys are from around here, you know? No, we're Irish. Oh, he's like, I never had Irish people in with me before. He's like, I'll be back later for a beer. We're like, yeah, whatever. So he comes back then. Might as well tell it.
Oh yeah, keep going. You're in now.
So
You're too far gone.
can I tell it?
Oh yeah. No, this is alright.
So no, the other thing. Yeah, fuck it, we can edit it out. So he's like, so he comes for a beer anyway, and he's having a crack. He's looking at us like we're like aliens. Like he's like, can't understand. We're talking different. We look different.
He thinks we're you're
Yeah,
leprechauns.
they're going to climb the tree or something. Then he goes, jeez, we're going way off topic here. You boys ever smoke weed? I said, nah, I don't. I
Yeah.
said, one of the lads was like, yeah. I'll be back in a minute. He's back, like, he's like an acre of stuff growing.
Cabbage patch.
Oh, I'm like, man, this is
fucking
not
weed
going to
farm.
end well.
That's where they got the idea for Sour Patch, I
Yeah.
guess.
But then, right, so I stayed on my beer. And a few of the boys was that, whatever, and you boys ever shoot a gun? I said, no, I'm dreaming this shit. This is not happening. This is not happening. I mean, there's campers everywhere, man. There's like, from where your car is there, like, I'm like, I'll be back in a minute. And I wanted to say, don't.
Hey, this is my favourite part of the story. With you.
So he's walking over to like where that Jeep is there, and like a fucking movie, man. He pulls the visor in, bang, handgun, and I'm like, oh no,
Oh my God.
no. So like just like that there, man, he like a wall, just putting cans up. The guy beside me's like, he couldn't speak because he was fucked up. And he's like, this isn't happening, is it? I'm like, I think it is. I'm like, there's OVs everywhere. He goes, have a shot. I'm like, nah, I don't want to shoot. Next thing he's like, bang, bang. I'm like, man, well, it's a memory with me. Like we say about music's a memory. I can still smell the gunpowder right now.
What kind of gun was it?
A Whispering Oaks.
Whisper.
It's still there.
Oh, was it like a fucking revolver, was it?
Oh, it was a handgun, like a fucking Magnum or something.
Oh, man.
Man, you're allowed carry down there on the hip, like, I was like,
It was
oh.
not
Oh, yeah,
carry,
it's-
yeah.
The next one, we were leaving a good look.
Oh, it's
But it was normal day for him.
yeah.
It was a
It's the norm over there.
It always reminds me of that bit in Family Guy. I remember there'd be Mississippi or something came and it'd be sitting on the rock. You just pump the shotgun and go back, you go.
But we went into Nashville. I don't know if you've ever been to Nashville.
I'd love to go.
It's
No.
amazing, man. Really cool.
Is it? Yeah.
Broadway, yeah. It's so cool. Like we had other guests on too, like that went to Nashville and played in Nashville, and there's a buzz about it. There's a if you were ever going on a trip like with your missus or that, I'd highly recommend going to Nashville.
I'd love to go. Yeah,
And
it's
it
it's on
doesn't-
my bucket list. Nashville and
Keep that bucket list because I have a question about your bucket list.
oh yes.
Right, back to that was the Maddo's.
I'm going to
story.
move on to one here after
for it,
your
Luke.
music
Go for it.
influences, considering we share
Yeah.
something of a common interest for wrestling.
Oh yeah.
What
Yeah.
would be your favourite wrestling theme tune?
Oh, good
That's a
question.
brilliant. It's a brilliant question. Oh God.
The lucky bag.
I mean,
Sorry. Oh,
yeah. One of my favourite memories. Does this have to be original? Does this have to be Jim Johnston kind of stuff?
No, whichever one.
WCW Nitro.
yeah.
The NWO entrance with fucking Dennis Rodman, and it's Jimi Hendrix Voodoo Child.
Yes.
It's one of the coolest fucking things I've ever seen in wrestling.
Yeah.
Ever. It's
It's actually one of the coolest things in general.
it's the aura. You know, you got Hogan, Nash Hall, and then
You've Dennis Rodman smoking a stogie.
smoking a stogie, and it's like I think it's
And the hat
it's a
with
couple
the
of days.
bill.
It's a couple of days before the fucking NBA finals
We
against
were only
the
talking
Jazz.
about this a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the Dennis gone missing.
Yeah.
And the two of us
Yeah,
were in a
we were
hoop
last
saying, and
week.
then the boys didn't know where he was, and someone goes,
He
"Hey,
showed-
hey, what's?"
He showed up on fucking Turner Network, yeah. He was on Nitro with the NWO. It's the funniest fucking... man, that guy fucking... He lived it. He lived... Like, he's still living it, I
What
think.
did you say? We're all. What was the quote you said? It was very good.
I said it's Dennis Rodman's world, and we're all living it.
Yeah, and it is. It 100% is. Even in the last dance, like...
Yeah.
But he went on to win the championship that year, didn't
He won!
Yeah.
That's the thing. The guy was like, he was this fucking enigmatic character, just unpredictable. But when he was on the basketball court, all of that fucking went away, and he was a proper fucking winner.
I love what Jordan said about even after Rodman would go partying and they'd try and really beat him up at training in the runs
Yeah.
to make him suffer.
Yeah,
He was
You know, like-
ignorant.
No.
No, he'd be there with them all, like second.
he was a different kind of machine. Because I think we're delving into basketball here, but he played for that Detroit Pistons
Bad
team,
Boys team,
the
yeah.
Bad Boys
That won
team.
back-to-back.
So obviously that. You know, that mindset mentality was already ingrained in him when he had moved to the Chicago Bulls, traded to the Chicago Bulls. So, like,
Didn't he go
You
from
know.
win championship to championship?
No, what would have happened was he went to San Antonio because they had the incident where he suffered with his mental health and he was in the old...
Before the Bulls?
He was in the old Detroit arena, I forget the name of it. But
yeah.
Palace at the Palace, remember the Indiana Pacers and the Detroit thing?
that's
He
right.
wasn't involved with that, but I think it was the Palace and Caesar's Palace, so one of the... But he was in his car, fell asleep with a gun in the passenger seat.
That's right.
And then he got traded to San Antonio. but San Antonio had always been like a clean cut basketball team.
Yeah.
Very nearly like military style under
Yeah.
Greg Popovich after that as the coach sort of continued that
Yeah.
legacy. But after that he went to the Bulls. And I love that one in The Last Dance where he goes to meet Phil Jackson. And he's like, he wouldn't even stand up to shake his hand, was it? And he didn't give a balance. Like, Phil's like, I said, Dennis? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that was great lockdown viewing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was actually just talking to my cousin about it. It was lockdown viewing, yeah, definitely.
It was a blessing that they released 2 episodes at a time.
Oh, wasn't it?
Oh man,
I would have done the whole thing.
Because there was Tiger King before that.
Yes, that was crazy as fuck.
Yeah.
He's still in jail.
I don't know where he is or what he's at.
Some of the shit that was released during lockdown was class.
Killer, yeah.
At least it kept, we had to fucking stay in.
Mindhunter as well was another good.
Mindhunter was brilliant.
Season 3 of that.
I know.
There's something more to that, cause
There's got to be.
like somebody with money.
David Fincher behind it and all as well. Like,
It was so
know.
It was such a good show.
Yeah,
That was
phenomenal show.
I love the acting in it. I love it. Even the kind of heavier guy. Oh, it was brilliant. The lighting and
He was the other agent.
Yeah.
I forget his name, but he was in. Have you seen The Iron Claw?
no.
Oh, lads, a bit the Von Erichs.
right.
With the wrestling, that Zac Efron got absolutely jacked.
It is
that one.
an incredible film, and the fact that it hasn't been nominated for any Oscars, nothing, is a disgrace. It's one of the most heartbreaking films. You're aware of the Von Erichs, the story of what happened to them. It's the most tragic story in wrestling history. It really is.
5 brothers.
Yeah. There's been a lot of tragic stories, but that just it's heartbreaking.
When did that come out? It's old enough, isn't it? It's not this
It
year.
came out end of last year.
Last year, yeah.
Zac Efron's brilliant in it as Kevin Von Erich. But yeah, the that other agent in Mindhunter plays their father.
Oh,
Yeah,
brilliant.
He's a very good actor.
yeah. He plays Fritz Von Erich, and what the Von Erichs, Fritz Von Erich, fucking he was the founder of the Sportatorium in Dallas, Texas, which trained in the likes of Taker, Steve Austin, I think Shawn Michaels as well. All of those like Texas-based legends. They all fucking trained and wrestled in the Sportatorium.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Steve
Must
with
check
the
it out.
blonde locks.
Steve Austin with the blonde hair. I mean,
What was his name? Gordon?
stunning Steve Austin.
Yeah.
If you look back at some of Steve Austin's old matches, he's a terrific wrestler. Like, because he wasn't known for that as Stone Cold.
Yes.
Because of his knee injuries.
Stiff.
Yeah.
But he was proper
Yeah, he was doing,
technical
like, backflips and
grafter.
all that, yeah.
Backflips, everything. He was very athletic.
Yeah.
Like, he was a proper... Like, they were looking at him, they were like calling him like the next Ric Flair. While he was in WCW, so he's fucking Ric Flair. He's just like this new version of Ric Flair. He's athletic. All the shit he does, he's very technical. It's mad that that's what the way they viewed him back
He
then.
was going.
Yeah,
Neck
but injuries, the neck injuries, the knee injuries,
yeah.
and then he went to ECW because he got fired by Bischoff.
Yeah.
He went to ECW. He was in ECW for a short period, and that's where he really kind of tapped into that.
Was he Stone Cold in
Stone
ECW?
Cold. No, he was just Steve Austin.
Steve Austin.
Then he went to WWF and he was the ringmaster for like a year under Ted DiBiase.
He won.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then he won.
I'm learning today.
He won King of the Ring.
King of the Ring, and that was the start of it.
Jake the Snake.
Jake Roberts, yeah.
You've seen that promo.
Jeez, you see the documentary on him?
Oh, the one with him and Diamond Dallas Page.
No, I think it was one I came across and might have been on Amazon or something like.
Oh, I know the one. Yeah, it came out years ago.
Yeah,
He
following him.
he's
and-
completely turned his life around.
Yeah, I know, but
with
like-
DDP.
Yeah, he was in a bad place. Like,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
the wrestler is
Yeah.
essentially about him.
is it?
Yeah, it is.
I didn't know that.
It's loosely
About
based
Jake the
based on
Snake.
Jake the Snake. Yeah.
As kids today, I was sad. It was hard watching it. But
That's a brilliant song, by the way.
which one?
Bruce Springsteen, the wrestler.
Yeah.
That's one of my favourite Bruce tunes.
Luke was up at Bruce last week, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I was. I heard he was amazed. Was he 3 hours on stage?
Yeah, 3 hours
Yeah.
20 or
Fucking
it
hell.
was unbelievable.
He's coming near 80. Like he's touching 80.
He's 74 at the minute,
Jesus.
and like he was playing Sunderland the next night. Did you say that gig got cancelled?
Yeah, I think, no, it might have been that one. It was the one in France or something, but he had to take a break there.
But he had played like what 4 or 5 shows in the space of a week.
Yeah, that's mad.
3 hour 15, 3 hour 20 sets.
He really puts all of his energy into Ireland, doesn't he? He
yeah.
fucking loves coming here.
He loves it.
He loves coming here.
On the topic of concerts, Al, what was your first concert, do you remember?
I think I do know what my first concert was.
Love.
Santana
Oh, fuck off.
in Marley Park, 2003. I went with me,
Take them off.
Munching
the
into the
jellies.
mic here, yeah.
me, my cousin, my mum, my 2 aunties and my older brother. We all went to see Santana.
You a fan of Santana?
Yeah. I remember Santana being played a lot. My mum loved Santana.
He's class. He definitely would have been a
Still
great-
loves Santana,
His
yeah.
wife's his drummer.
No way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cindy Blackman.
Yeah.
She plays drums.
Is he actually Spanish or is he
I couldn't tell you.
South American?
Why do I think he's South American?
I'm insulting the man now. I think he's Spanish.
I think he might be, yeah.
I could be wrong.
He's some guitarist.
Isn't he?
He's unbelievable. And he's cool as fuck. like.
I spoke to you about how music in film is so effective, and because when I hear a song on the radio, and I do my wife's head in, I always say, "What movie? What movie? What movie?" Like you said, like when I mentioned Crash Test Dummies,
Yeah.
you fucking Dumb and Dumber,
Yeah.
came to your head. Like when I think of Santana,
Pulp Fiction is, Teenage
Pulp
Wedding.
Fiction,
You know,
yeah.
you can never can tell every time. I
yeah.
just think of that scene in the.
with John Travolta and
Yeah.
Uma Thurman, yeah.
Jeez, what's Vincent Vega?
But when I think of if I hear "Oh yeah, Como Va" by Santana, I think of The Big Lebowski. Just after his car was smashed in when he and they're on the highway, the freeway in LA, about to go get they're eating an In-N-Out burger. It's just the funniest thing. But that's what I think. I think movies and music, they're just so connected.
Yeah.
And that's for me. I just feel that connection it's special because I always think of a particular scene where that's like Layla by Eric Clapton, Derek and the Dominoes.
Yeah.
You think of Goodfellas.
Yeah.
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 Goodfellas enters your mind straight away.
Yeah.
You've watched The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah.
I mean, it went straight to number 1
At the last episode.
after the last episode.
Yeah.
Them painted black at the start of The Departed. Jack Nicholson's given his.
No, it was Gimme Shelter.
Oh, give me shelter. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
Stones.
bad. And
Yeah.
Matt Damon's the wee fella at the.
Yeah.
Do you know it's him as a kid?
As a kid, yeah. Oh, it's brilliant.
But even the song in the start of Goodfellas. You know the
It was Tony Bennett, Rags
Yeah.
to Riches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
every time I hear that, it is, and I know I'm saying it again. It's a time machine, man. When something goes, in your
No,
head,
it
you're
is
like,
100%.
brings you
Yeah.
back to that moment.
When you think about Scorsese films as well, he's so synonymous with the Rolling Stones.
Yes.
How many times has he used Rolling Stones songs in his movies?
films.
You know, Can't You Hear Me Knocking in Casino? If you watch that, I think it's a long sequence of how they make the money in the casinos. But it's Can't You Hear Me
Good to
Knocking?
watch. Yeah.
Yeah,
A song in a movie can make a movie sometimes.
100% it can.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's an original song as well.
Master of Puppets is in
Stranger Things.
Strange.
It is, yes. It's
and
in
it
straight.
went
Yeah.
massive. It was like in the charts
Yeah,
again.
no,
Yeah.
it charted again. I had a load of
Along
kids
with
wanting
Kate
to
Bush.
Yeah.
running up that
Kate
hill.
Bush.
Yeah.
Did that go to number 1? It
I
did
think
go
it
to
did
number
go
1.
Number 1, yeah.
Your Murder on the Dance Floor was like number 2 after
Yes.
Saltburn.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, that's...
Yeah,
I didn't realise it was in Saltburn.
22 years after. It was in It was the final scene in Saltburn.
You'll actually have a good laugh. I was telling you this, but Jason Mullaney that I know that plays in Blue Moose and the rest of the boys, Tony and Phil and all of them, were playing a Paddy's Day gig in Switzerland or Denmark. I think they were in
Seen the
Basel.
video.
You saw the video, and Sophie Ellis-Bextor was in the bar,
Yeah.
and they played Murder on the Dance Floor, and she had got up and was like, "That's my song." And they were like,
Play with them.
"Do you know, like, what, really?" She's like, "Yeah, that's me." And she sang it while they played it.
Brilliant.
All over the radio and everything.
It would be
for the
just a
week.
kind of a
Paddy's Day.
pub band.
Yeah.
A bit
One of
bigger.
probably one of the best, if not the best, wedding band in Ireland.
Yeah.
Oh, unbelievable.
Oh, that's class.
Really, really good.
What's the last concert you were at?
What was the last concert I went to? Oh my god. I don't get time to go to gigs anymore. I know
Is there
me
any
and
out
my
at the
wife
boxing?
are going to Shania Twain in Malahide Castle.
Nice.
Shania, You're Still the One is our wedding song. So
right.
that's the last gig I went to. Oh lads.
Was there no entertainment
Jesus.
out at the boxing?
Oh, I don't
Doesn't
know
count.
what the fuck that was. Just, I don't know. It was a rapper. I don't know who. Like me with rap music now. I'm like an
Yeah,
old fella.
there's-
I don't know who's that.
Who's that?
Who's the fella?
Yeah, Travis. I don't have a clue.
Who it was? It's a
Um,
pity they didn't have him perform when he was out there.
I know.
That would have been something else.
It would have been unbelievable. I did
Eminem.
go to Eminem in Leopardstown in 2003. That was his first Irish gig.
Leopardstown.
Yeah.
Fuck, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he people would think of the Slaying gig in 2013, but
He was supposed to play Slane before that, wasn't he?
2005, I had me tickets and all.
Yeah.
He cancelled.
That's the time he went into rehab first, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Off the back of Encore or
yeah.
2013.
He was going. He was going through
a lot of
his
stuff.
his dark shit at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Seen him at Slane, alright.
yeah.
I seen him.
He
in
made up
Boston-
for it. He did that Slaying gig.
Boston
took me little
Calling
brother.
in 2018 as well.
Oh, you seen him out in Boston?
Yeah, that was a great one.
Yeah,
Great gig.
Like I think, like growing up, coming home from school and throwing on MTV and just like that, them videos and
yeah.
Without me, you can still see the Batman and Robin and the.
yeah.
You know?
Him and Dre in the car and the explicit sticker.
Yeah.
You know,
What was the last gig? This is killing me
Bugging you.
here. It's actually bugging me. Was it a Malahide Castle gig? I go to a lot of them, obviously because it's local enough.
in and out.
Or was it a gig in the Tree Arena?
What do you call? Who played St Anne's Park? Wasn't there a few out there? last-
Picture this played there.
There's a
last
few.
weekend.
Yeah.
And Dermot Kennedy played there last year, I think, or maybe it was Marley Park.
Lads, yeah. I went to see Sting
In Malahide.
in Malahide Castle.
That would have been
Sting
a
and
brilliant
Blondie.
gig.
Nice.
Amazing gig.
Yeah, that would have been class.
Sorry, and I forget. Sting was one of my from my dad. My earliest memories was Sting, the Brand New Day album, one of his solo albums.
Yeah.
Solo album.
Yeah, that was my earliest memory of music as well. Sting. If I ever lose my faith,
Yeah, that was
you.
on 10 Summoner's Tales.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's 10
Yeah.
someone.
And you would have had Field of Gold and 7 Days.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. And what else? There was
There's so many good ones
Dave
there.
was a big fan of his too.
San-
Sting is amazing.
Something of San Agustin.
he's 70. He's 74, and he looks.
He looks a bit
Do you know he
Yeah,
comes to
he looks
town,
50.
He comes to town here, right?
Does he? Yeah.
Because there's some history here with his mother or something.
No way.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it comes to Carrick.
Yeah, something about the workers.
That's funny. I
There's
never heard
no,
that
like-
one. I heard
Yeah.
though that he used to go out with a girl from Black Rock. Do you hear that story?
Do you know Shaggy goes out with a girl from Dundalk?
Yeah, he's
No
married
way.
to a girl
Married
from
to her.
Dundalk. Yeah.
No.
That's been in
way.
Dundalk the whole time.
Yeah.
And here's me thinking Chris Pontius from Jackass marrying a girl from Malahide was the most craziest thing ever.
What you know?
Your man Party Boy.
No.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's mental. He's married to an Irish girl.
How could you marry him? He's crap.
Crazy though, isn't it?
Imagine the things he's done. with the snake. I'd say he's great crack though. Oh my god.
Oh, great crack.
Imagine
Jack-
coming across Sting hey out here.
Honestly, because someone told me that a few years that it's either his grandmother or something was in
That'd be mad.
the workhouse back in the day, obviously, and
Yeah.
he's come back a few times. And
Yeah, it was Sting last year in Malahide Castle.
Gordon Sumner.
Gordon Sumner, yeah, that's
that's him.
Yeah.
his name. He's a Geordie. He's from Newcastle.
He's a legend.
He is a legend. There's a lot of talent from Newcastle. I mean, you got him, you Brian Johnson, Mark Knopfler, I believe.
From Dire Straits.
Is he Glasgow? But didn't he grow up in Newcastle for a period of time?
I couldn't
Jimi
tell
Hendrix broke
exactly.
Newcastle before that's where he got his big break. I
Was it?
couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
He couldn't break America, and he went to a producer in Newcastle, and that's where he started to make
That's
tracks.
where he got his good
Yeah.
music.
I could not
Or
believe
made
it.
his good music.
I was actually listening to a podcast on Jimi Hendrix, and I'm like, I don't know, I have to do my own homework on this. I'm like, holy shit, yeah.
You'd nearly want to do a podcast solely on discussing the conspiracy theories around his death.
Jimmy's
very,
death?
Yeah, very interesting if you haven't
Yeah.
heard about it.
Never heard any conspiracy.
Is
Yeah.
there? Okay.
Yeah, it's actually really
And
interesting.
how is he supposed to have died?
What was it? Should I say alcohol poisoning and then vomiting? But
Oh, did he
it's,
choke? No, he didn't choke.
supposedly,
Okay.
or an OD, or
Something's ringing a bell.
with his manager.
Something with a... Yeah.
Yeah, it was to do with his manager, and when the
Yeah.
autopsy was done, there was like so many pills in his system, but they hadn't dissolved yet, or something.
Yeah.
Like they
the
pegged them into
alcohol,
it.
yeah, like the alcohol
yeah.
content was low in his blood, and then his manager suspiciously died, either subsequently after that. And the
Did you ever
show
hear the
not being
story?
in time.
Story about Jimi Hendrix playing Woodstock.
In the first
The
Woodstock.
original one.
No.
He was absolutely
Off his face.
Off his face, was he?
on LSD. Like there's videos of him. He's like a lot of that time he spent more time on LSD as he did sober.
Yeah.
Like,
Jesus,
and
yeah.
he's going out and playing on stage. Absolutely. There's an interview with him talking about it. He's like, I couldn't even see.
Yes, like Clapton just getting blind drunk back in the day to play stuff, and you're like, oh.
How can you?
But they still put on a show.
Yeah.
They still, yeah.
They actually said their confidence grew with it. They
That's
felt no
crazy.
shame.
Because you hear
Yeah,
about
no
that.
judgment.
You know, you hear stories of George Best. I heard a story about George Best where he was out in the piss all night in Manchester up until like the early hours of the morning, 10 o'clock. And they had typical 3 p.m. kick-off on the Saturday. And he went and scored 6 goals.
There's the thing about Gaza there with Rangers. It was one of the cup finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I seen that on TikTok or something, and he was having a shit game, and Walter Smith was over him at the time.
Yeah.
Give him
And
a
he
swig
says,
of brandy.
Gaza, did you have a drink yet today? He says, no. He says, go on. And Gaza went to half time and had like 3 brandies or something, went in,
And he
scored,
came
two,
on.
scored 2 goals, won the game, right?
Yeah.
But Walter Smith said, right lads, we're going out partying, we won. Gaza, you had your drink today, you're not coming.
No way.
No way.
Jesus.
Made him stay at home.
Now, that was on some clip on some... It was a podcast.
Is it him and Shearer? Yeah.
When it was flagging off, when
Yeah.
he says, well, you never signed for Man United. Do you think Ferguson could control you? And he says, well, Giggsy shagged his brother's wife. Canton nearly took someone's head off. And he says, I think it would have fit in all right.
Fuck's sake. But that's the like Fergie got rid of that kind of culture at the club.
Paul McGrath and all them boys, yeah.
Paul McGrath,
Paul just loved us up during his day.
he did. But Paul
He had his
McGrath,
demons, he had a tough life.
he had a tough life.
Yeah.
Paul McGrath, ability wise, like probably one of the best centre backs ever.
Unbelievable.
I'm not joking when I say
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You watch him play. Watch how fucking physically good he
We
was.
watched
How
that game
strong he
against
was.
Italy in '94.
Yeah.
I was over there. that
Apparently
day.
he was honest the night before.
Could have done it, Gaza.
That's what they said. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And he put in a performance.
Baggio and who was up front for Italy that day? Like, he did not miss a ball in the air
Yeah.
the whole game.
He was unbelievable.
They went on to the World Cup final.
Yeah.
Ireland were the only team, I think, to get a win, obviously, apart from Brazil in the final against them. That '94 World Cup in Giant Stadium.
But-
At that game were you just there?
My mother and father were at the game, and I was over there. Fuckers didn't bring me. I was left with my cousins. But
My dad was at the game.
my father said he never experienced anything like it. He said there was like, say, 80,000 people at it, but it was like 70,000 Irish, because the Italians thought, sure, we'll get them in this is only a shitty game,
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
game. And my dad actually is a funny story. He back in the day was more accessible than that, and as I said, I grew up in RD in Loudon, Staunton,
Yeah.
Dundalk, and he got into the hotel. My dad got into the hotel,
Yeah.
and Staunton got him tickets to the game against Mexico, I think it was, in
Yeah.
Florida. And I actually talked to Staunton before. I was on a bike ride with Staunton, and
Yeah.
he was telling me about like the carry on, like the hotels and that. He said there was the hotel in Florida. They all checked in, and the famous story about them going to, what was that, Chipper? Oh, it was like a fish and chips place.
Yeah.
They took them to it, whatever. He says, the morning we were playing Mexico, I think it was, we walked down into the lobby, and there were about 400 people dressed as fucking Spock. He said there was a Star Trek convention in the hotel. And the boys are trying to prepare for World Cup. He said that was it.
Could you imagine what Jack was like saying that?
He said that was just the Irish all over.
Oh.
He says the load of Spocks
A
walking.
load of Spocks walking around. Oh,
Jesus.
unbelievable.
Right, Al, if you had the power to record your dream album,
Yeah.
can you name 5 artists that you'd want in that room to record your album, dead or alive?
On drums, because my dad is a huge Rush fan, and I went to see Rush in 2011 in the Tree Arena. And I think Neil Peart, best drummer you'll ever see. If you know yourself.
He's top class.
Yeah.
As
Is
to say,
he-
the argument is,
Is he? Would you consider him one of the greatest of all time?
yeah, he's absolutely class for sure. Me personally,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be his biggest fan, but I do have a great respect for what he done.
Yeah.
It's like that age-old argument. Is it John Bonham? Is it Neil?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's John Bonham for me.
Okay.
You know, it's like same as the
Rush were English, weren't they?
yeah. But
No,
it's-
Canadian.
Canadian was
Canadian.
Perth was Canadian, and then you'd Geddy Lee on the bass,
And Alex Lifeson,
Alex Layton,
lead guitarist. Yeah.
All I
They were a trio. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
a trio band.
think about Rush, I think of I Love You Man.
Yeah, I love you. Slapping the bass. Yeah.
Rush are the greatest band of all time.
I think Tom Sawyer is an absolute banger of a tune as well.
Absolutely
It's-
class.
But I always said it to my dad. Like my dad always had this thing about Rush. Like he always considered them they're the greatest band in the world.
Okay.
And but why didn't they have many hits? Just because they didn't seek out.
A lot of them didn't.
No,
A lot
they
of them
didn't. And then I couldn't. I was like, well, why aren't they that popular? Like chart wise, like mainstream. What?
Didn't release singles probably.
They didn't release singles. They just released albums.
Yeah.
And then my dad showed me this gig of them in 2001. They played in fucking, I think it was Rio. They played in front of like,
Probably
500,000
100,000.
or something.
I was like,
there was a
what
load
the
of
fuck?
people.
This
Some
is
gig in Rio where
mental.
there was 1,000,001 or 1,000,005, much like the Metallica Moscow gig.
Rush, yeah.
Yeah.
900,000 from Madonna or something showed up in Rio.
Jesus.
Filled the Copacabana or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah, something absolutely crazy. And another one funny if you're a big, say, Rush fan on that level.
Yeah.
Some Genesis stuff.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Genesis are
Like the
class.
stuff that wouldn't
Phil
have
Collins
charted
and-
or anything, or just anything. Just
Yeah.
Phil
B-sides in
Collins.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
She's probably one of the most iconic drum fills ever.
Just Phil as a drummer altogether. Even his solo stuff is just, it's untouchable.
But even obviously, I grew up a lot on Oasis, like a lot of lads my age, and I do I think outside the box. So I like, not being snobby, but I'd be an Oasis purist in that sense,
Yes.
where, like, I love some of the the master plan, the B side to the master plan. I think is some of the best shit they've ever released.
Songwriting in Heaven's brilliant.
Yeah,
I love
like Listen Up, I think is just.
Supersonic, the documentary.
Oh, the document is
was
brilliant.
Absolutely class.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have been a massive fan of them before that,
Yeah,
as I didn't know enough about them.
yeah,
And then when I watched it, I just thought it was brilliant.
yeah.
I loved when Liam had put it, I just went down for a pint to read the paper, he says, and before I knew it, there was people doing coke and dancing on the table at lunchtime. He said, I never meant for this to happen.
Yeah,
Just like, man, I didn't want this to happen.
yeah.
They were cool at the time, though.
Oh, they were. I mean, you know, I think they secretly have fucking made up. I really do. I think
It looks like it in the last couple of months.
They're
as
running,
well.
Yeah.
running the gravy train.
yeah. There's it will come a time where it's like, will you just fucking stop this charade? We all know what's happening
I
here.
hope they get backed.
Yeah, my biggest worry is how quick that fucking gig in. I think it's going to be Slane.
I think it's...
Yes.
I think they will play Slane. If they do reunite and they're doing their Irish gig will be Slane.
They have headlines playing, though, haven't
They
they?
have back in 2011 or
You can do it
12,
again,
I
though,
believe.
can't you?
Yeah, you can.
U2 did. I think U2 is maybe one of the only ones.
Yeah.
That was kind of the unwritten rule that you didn't headline twice, but I think you could be honest.
I think with the circumstances
No, just once.
and their connection to Ireland,
Yes.
you know, it's sure Noel in an interview considered himself Irish.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't care.
He doesn't care about the Euros.
Who else is in this band, though?
Right, so on drums we've Neil Peart. Oh God. Bass guitar. Who do we have on bass? Oh fuck, these are killing me here.
Who'd be a singer?
My singer would be. It can be a mix of everything, can't it?
Do what you want. It's your band, man. You can't. It's your preference. It's just something that we do with every guest.
I think Michael Jackson.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Hard to beat.
it's hard to beat, and I've kind of grown a massive appreciation for Michael Jackson over the last year or two.
Yeah.
Just his music in general. I always you generally love Michael Jackson's
Everything
songs.
about him, I think he's a fucking genius.
He is a genius.
Yeah.
He had a tough life. His dad and all that shit, and I don't believe any of that stuff, to be honest. I think a lot of it was blown out.
I think at the
he
time
was
a lot of
innocent.
people believed it because there was a media frenzy
Yeah.
against him. But now, looking back, even after that documentary, it kind of all adds up that he didn't do any of this.
He was innocent.
There was just an innocence to him, and it's
feel-
very hard to kind of explain it as well.
Yes. Yeah, I feel in this day and age with let's say, for example, the Me Too movement, and people aren't afraid to speak out of their experiences. I think if he had been complicit in any of that stuff, people definitely would have took to Twitter. They would have taken to social media to let it be known.
Yeah.
It couldn't be censored to the degree.
Yeah. I think people are going to think, and he did. He essentially wanted to just tap into the childhood that he never had.
Yeah.
As crazy as it sounds, but I mean the proof in the pudding is, Macaulay Culkin is asked about it,
Yeah.
and his answer is no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Why would
He
keep
didn't
lying?
do any of that.
For a man who had his
didn't do-
demons as well,
Yeah.
just could have come clean enough with it.
Yeah, every time just watch Macaulay Culkin's reaction when he's asked.
Yeah.
There's no fucking. He's not looking down. He's not nervous about it.
Yeah.
It's a straight fucking answer, and obviously, the evidence. There was zero evidence from the court case or anything like that.
He's the king of pop. He is probably the best entertainer.
He's a genius,
in the
and that
world.
movie's going to do ridiculous numbers. By the way, when that comes out,
Is there another
the
one?
biopic. It's coming out next year,
I didn't know that.
and his nephew Jafar is playing him.
No
Jermaine's son.
son.
No way.
Yeah,
And is the family over that production?
they are. Yeah, but they will delve into that.
Okay.
Apparently, they're going to delve into a lot of stuff with Joe Jackson and.
I would have given my left arm to bloody see him live.
Didn't he play in Cork? Wasn't
He
it?
played Dublin.
Played Dublin.
My cousin seen him.
In the point that time.
My cousin Johnny seen him, yeah.
Cork
Did
was the
play
big
in
gig
Cork.
that he did. He did.
Pretty sure.
He stayed in Michael Flatley's house in Cork.
He
Yeah.
was close to buying.
Something else.
Do you know that?
He was.
Grouse Lodge in Mullingar, wasn't
No,
it? Smock Alley?
Smartmoor Castle.
Smartmoor Castle.
Just outside RD. He came and looked at it.
No way.
No way.
Yeah.
He used to record in Grouse Lodge in Westmeath.
Westmeath.
Grouse Lodge Studios.
No way. What did he record? Like what albums?
I'm not too sure, but he had come to stay there and record some music because it was like full on site, nearly like Shirley's here, the estate.
No one coming in,
He could just come and stay
Yeah.
and have the whole thing to himself.
No
It was
way.
out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like when you see that movie, what was it called?
This Is It.
This Is It.
Mm.
And it shows him, you know, with the musicians, and like he had every instrument mastered. You know,
Yeah.
he was like telling the guy to slow down on the keys. And,
Yeah.
you know,
He's
he
a
was so
genius.
right though. He
It's-
was like, you know, like when listening, you think, "Jeez, he's been hard on your man." Then as your man slows down, he's like, "Fuck yeah, he was off."
Just,
Yeah.
He was off.
Yeah.
You know,
It was crazy when he went into work mode.
Yeah.
When he went into that mode.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Who is you?
they
Who
melt.
is this guy?
Yeah.
You're just like looking at him like, oh my god, this guy is an absolute genius. Like
The
he
hours that could
switches
put
it
in
on.
set,
Yeah,
he said was ridiculous. Like his dances.
Dances.
Over and
Yeah.
over and over again.
oh, he was a perfectionist,
Yeah.
a proper artist of his craft, and just fucking hell, everything that he released was pure perfection. I think my favorite Michael Jackson song, I think, is Human Nature. I think it's his
Yes.
best. I think it's his best
Yeah.
song ever.
Yeah.
I really do. I
like
think
Dirty Diana too. Yeah.
Dirty Diana's
I
fantastic as well.
definitely think Human Nature would be mine as well. As
Yeah.
it's Steve and Jeff Picaro.
Yeah.
Of Toto
Yes,
had the music for it.
they did. Yeah,
So Jeff Picaro played drums on it, and I always found that track had such a nice airiness to it.
yeah.
Especially with the riff. There's a great video of that actually where Steve Lukather's asked how
Yeah.
he came up with the riff, and he just sort of playing around with it, and
Yeah.
you know, just
Oh,
the
for
whole,
Human Nature.
Yeah, he's
For
like,
Human
it's
Nature.
just this to this to this. And it's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Did you ever try and do him? His impression?
I think did I mean
It's hard, I'd say. My buddy.
I think
actually-
I did Stevie Wonder. I tried. I did his voice like Stevie Wonder. I remember doing Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles. One of my first. Well, what will you see? And then Ray Charles just saying, "Hit the road, Jack. Won't you come back no more?" And then Stevie Wonder was very much like that. I just called to say I love you, and I mean.
I was telling Gavin the story I read about Dr. Dre being asked about Stevie Wonder. You might have seen this yourself.
No.
He was saying he rang him one time at 5 a.m.
Yeah,
and he was like, I couldn't be mad, you know, it's Stevie. Like, he says,
yeah.
What's it, Dre?
yeah, he's like, Stevie doesn't know what time it is. He doesn't know whether it's 5 in the evening or 5 in the morning. Like,
Was this in the Defiant ones?
I'm not,
I think there was. Yeah,
not too sure.
that
if
was
it
the one
or was
with
it.
Dre, Eminem,
Yeah,
and
I
Jimmy
love that.
Iovine.
Jimmy Iovine
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
That what.
No.
For any of your listeners,
What a
guys,
document.
please listen to that, because that covers it's essentially the rise of Interscope.
Yes.
But fucking hell, Tom Petty's in it, Stevie Nicks, Springsteen is interviewed, and then you have the likes of Ice Cube, Dre, Eminem.
Listening to Jimmy's story of being, you know, on hand in the studio
Yeah.
back in the day, working as an intern and stuff like
Oh, his like
you know, just getting his sort of.
He's a
what was
fucking
that, flash
legend.
in the pan because your man sort of threw a wobbler in the studio.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right, Jimmy, here's your chance to shine. Like,
yeah.
go in and work away.
Put Tom Petty in there, please.
Tom Petty's in there.
I absolutely adore Tom Petty.
Yeah,
Love him. I
Cool dude too.
yeah.
such a cool dude. I wish I had seen him live. Oh
That
my
would've been
god.
something else.
I like, yeah, that's my he'd one of my dream gigs is to see
Tom
him.
Petty. What was the name of his Tom Petty and the
The
Heartbreakers?
Heartbreakers.
The Heartbreakers, yeah.
That video with him and Prince. Wasn't he in the video with Prince doing the guy from
The, the Beatles one.
Yeah.
As I Gently Weep.
Yeah. Isn't Tom Petty's in that, I think?
Maybe so. As my
Did you
guitar
ever see
gently
that?
weeps.
Oh, my.
He's in the
So Prince.
the solo, the Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking
Isn't
amazing.
Petty in that? I think Petty.
I think Petty is in
I
that.
think he is.
Is
I'm
Clapton
not
in
too
it
sure.
too?
I think Eric Clapton's in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
That's
Eric
so
Clapton and George Patterson, I'm thinking it.
George Harrison.
George Harrison's wife was Patty.
Yes.
George and Patty came away from each other, and Eric Clapton ended up marrying her.
Oh.
And they
Oh.
were best mates. So
No
that's
way.
Another story. That's who he wrote Layla over.
He's
He was
involved, yeah.
absolutely infatuated with George Harrison's wife.
Okay.
And Evan actually talked of a great one. We spoke about it a couple of weeks ago after rehearsal, and he said, in typical George fashion, he said, you know, he had a bit of a cut at Eric in a friendly enough way. He says, well, you know, at least I'm glad she didn't end up with some other dope. At least it was Eric. You know, but it was still giving Eric the sort of, giving him the
Did
jab.
you watch the Beatles Get Back?
I haven't watched
Thing on
any
this-
of it
I've
yet,
watched a
but
bit of it.
I need to watch it.
I think there's a lot of lull in it.
There is. George looks so. He just looks so uninterested. He's not. He's just not in the zone whatsoever. Just
Not
doesn't
the
give.
That's the one
Doesn't
women-
give a shit.
The
This.
women were all mad for him.
The women were mad for George. Yeah.
He was the one that died.
Why did they call?
Yeah.
They called him the Quiet Beatle.
John Lennon died first. He was
John died in 1980, and then George.
Cancer or
01
something,
or
wasn't
03, or he had liver cancer.
Yeah.
I think.
But I remember reading like the women used to just fight over him.
Yeah.
I know they fought over them all, but like he was like the heartbreaker.
But he was frustrated, I think, in the Beatles because he didn't get the same
Yeah.
songwriting opportunities
then
and
when he
vocal
went on
opportunities
playing
that
the
the other two
Wilburys.
got. Yeah, when he played in the Wilburys and he released all the solo stuff, he kind of, you know,
Showed them up.
yeah,
Yeah.
Big time.
As a musician,
yeah.
you know, what was that? That was another Simpsons reference of Homer being very annoyed at the band Wings. Paul McCartney and Wings. That were terrible.
What was it?
Yeah.
In The Simpsons.
Yeah, I actually saw that one yesterday of when they were in the B shops, and he's telling us time of when he met George Harrison, and George Harrison's like, "Oh, hey Homer." He's like, "George Harrison, where did you get that brownie?" He's like, "Over there."
So have I got two more? Yeah.
So we've Michael Jackson.
Put Elton John in there. You got to put Elton John.
Oh, Michael Jackson, Elton John, Tom Petty, and Neil Peart.
There's one more, is there?
One more.
Guitarist maybe.
We could put Tom on the guitar.
Put Tom on the guitar. Who-
Elton and Michael will share the vocals.
Fuck.
Yeah, but you got Elton's got the piano in there as well. So that's a good combination. Fuck. There's a lot of people there that you can slot in.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Put Noel in.
No.
Put Noel Gallagher in.
That'd be brilliant.
That'd be
Yeah.
a good cocktail,
Yeah.
right?
Be some partying done in that band, wouldn't there?
Oh, a lot of partying.
Yeah.
I was thinking there was a lot of close calls there. I was thinking
A lot of
like there's no Beatles, there's no Lennon or McCartney in there, which
No.
that is a shocker. I was thinking Kurt Cobain as well. Could you put Kurt in there? You know, Dave Grohl as well. You could either put him on the drums or you could put him on
anything,
you put
yeah.
him on
Go
anything.
with your go. Go with your go.
But fuck, Dave Grohl would be. I feel he'd bring them all together as opposed to Noel, wouldn't he?
No, we'll probably stand for
Because Dave Grohl plays with fucking everyone.
Noel would tell them where to go.
Yeah. No, it's a good band. I like the mix. I like
Yeah.
the mix. I like
It's a mad mix.
it's a good mix.
You're talking about the Beatles there. They're making. Have you heard about the movie they're making?
I have heard the
Yeah.
movie.
Movies.
Movies.
Yeah. So they're not going down the typical route of making a biopic just about the band. They're going to make 4 biopics from the perspective of each Beatle, and all 4 actors are going to be in the 4 movies. And it's directed by Sam Mendes, who directed. He did the recent James Bond movies, and didn't he? Wasn't it? Sam Mendes directed American Beauty, wasn't it?
I'm not too sure.
He did. It was Road to Perdition as well.
Oh.
He did Skyfall, and
Skyfall
Yeah.
is unbelievable.
so he's doing all 4 films, and they've actually just announced the cast. Our 2 Irish lads, you've Paul Mescal is playing
I did hear that.
McCartney.
Did hear that.
Barry Keoghan is playing Ringo Starr.
No way.
And I think a fella called Harris Dickinson is playing either George or John. But it's
That's a great role for the Irish voice.
Wow.
two Irish lads.
class.
Two
Yeah.
class actors. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed your episode with Dermot.
President.
Joe Biden. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, folks. Make sure you get out and vote.
He's going to need them.
Vote for a better change for Americans. Better change for the world. I didn't know we had this little shed out here in the White House lawn. This is great. We got cattle over there, too.
Joe, what about Ukraine?
What about it?
Did you enjoy Dundalk?
Yeah, I enjoyed Drogheda.
That's fucking
Oh, that's incredible. That actually
What
reminds
about Ukraine? We paid for the Vogue photo shoot. Zelensky and his wife. Strike a pose. Strike a pose.
There's a lot of strikes.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, my God, that's brilliant.
That reminds me of that skit from the Dunbelievables, you know, when they do away and a home instead of home and away. And the first question is, what about the poor people in China? And then at the end, he says, what about the poor people in China, Martin? How do you know my name?
Yeah, that was classic stuff.
What was the other fella's name? Do you unbelievable? Dave.
John Kenny.
John Kenny.
So you had Pat Short and John Kenny.
Do you remember John? Do you remember John Kenny and the Father Ted, the Eurovision episode,
Yeah.
as the Eurovision host?
Yeah.
I just thought it was one of the funniest fucking things ever.
Man, he was so funny.
The way he meets them backstage before they go on, talking like that. His fucking 3 buttons undone in the shirt, the fucking tie all over the place, the hair greasy as hell. And then the fucking the show starts, and then he comes out on stage, he's clean cut. Welcome to the Eurovision Song Contest. It's one of the funniest fucking things ever.
Isn't he in the Commitments as well?
I think he is.
Yeah, I think so.
What's the famous bit he does? He says something, my name's Jerry McCarthy, and my father was Jerry McCarthy. And then someone was annoying him, he says, if you don't fuck off, me and the other 7 Jerry McCarthys. He says, fuck you.
It's like, when they do the skit in the caravan and the Dunbelievables. He says, what's your name? Pa. Named after me father. And what's your name? Pa as well. Named after me father's father. Do you never get confused? No.
Oh, God.
Just, as you'd say, quiet. The handiest stuff.
So, Al, tell us about your podcast, the United.
Yeah. We started up the podcast at the start of last season now. Myself and Damien Broderick, the famous fashion influencer. Let's Get Dressed. That's Damien's. That's his whole thing, and it's literally blown up for him over the last 2 years now.
Strapping young man.
He's a strapping young man, but he's a huge United fan. Like a die-hard Man United fan. And this is a side to Damien that not many people know, not many people that follow him know. And I think it's interesting, the dynamic, you know, you see what he's like when we're recording the episodes and when he's obviously doing his Let's Get Dressed videos. But yeah, we're just 2 staunch United fans. Most weeks were absolutely miserable this season. We'd go in on the Monday after a defeat and it's just like, what the fuck? Trying to think of ways to fix the club, but you know, we always found a way to kind of come up with, you know, different ideas, different dynamics to the episode. Even if it was a repeat episode of, you know, United lost the weekend prior and they lost again, we'd just be going in a bit of a mood.
I feel like as a United fan myself, like, it might sound a bit cheesy, but like, even Luke, we said, kind of gone off a wee bit, but like, you're hanging on to every supporter now, and like, if one's hurting, we're all hurting. We like to hurt together. We like to grieve.
Well, that's
together.
it. Yeah.
You know, and we like to win together.
We had great guests though this year. We had. I mean, Paul Howard was one of our best guests. Paul Howard's obviously, as you know, the most annoying Liverpool football club fan on the planet, but I love him. He's just an absolute gent. Paul Howard, aka Ross O'Carroll Kelly. Having him on was great. It was before the Liverpool game in Anfield, and it was just a brilliant episode because
what's his channel? Isn't he a channel?
Paul,
Yeah,
he does all the Ross O'Carroll Kelly stuff.
Yes,
and he did Coppers the musical as well.
Yes.
We had him. We've had Calvin O'Brien from Talking Bollocks, who's a huge United fan.
Yeah.
We had, I don't know if you follow Nasty. Nasty is blown up. Nasty 2K. Right. He's the fella that's writing the spice bags now.
Oh yeah.
He's He's relentless.
Very funny.
He's also a massive Bose fan as well. So we had him on the podcast. Who else have we had? We've had
Andy Cole.
No, we didn't have.
You had the chat with him too.
We had the chat with it. That's separate.
Yeah.
That was separate. We want to get Andy Cole though.
Yeah.
We want to try and get him.
Trying to think of
we've had Dave Moore on.
Yeah,
that was
Dave
a great
Moore.
episode.
Yeah,
I listened to that during the week.
Dave Moore's story about celebrating with Fergie.
Ferguson.
Unbelievable.
That was great when he was talking about coaching the girls and the shirts.
Yeah,
and he was talking about back in when yourselves were growing up.
Yeah,
and I know he'd be a wee bit older again. It was like the only thing you could afford to buy. The only thing you could buy was the official replica.
Yeah,
which was borderline unaffordable.
Yeah,
so he said £40 in those days was
huge
and I meant
money.
To say that to you then was like, do you remember maybe getting a United jersey for Christmas? Do you know it would have been probably a big deal then?
I remember. I don't know if you remember Al, the first United game you ever seen.
Yeah, I do.
I seen United. I was telling you this not too long ago.
Like went to or watched?
Physically seen. I seen them in Dundalk.
Okay. In pre-season?
In 1990, I think 3.
Okay. So this is after they just won the league?
Yeah.
This is in Oriel Park?
Oriel Park.
Oh. I mean... So Cantona, Hughes, Konchelskis.
Yeah.
Ince.
Yeah. Mark Hughes. Who else would have been?
Bruce, Pallister, Giggs.
Full team. Cantona missed the penalty that day.
In Oriel Park.
And he drew with Dundalk.
No way.
But just talking about...
On the town.
Talking about the jerseys now. I had that jersey. I think Santi got it for me. With the laces.
Yeah, I was going to say that was the one with the laces.
I think the green and gold.
No, the red one. You know the red one?
Oh, the red one. Yeah, yes. They had that for 2 seasons, didn't they? Yeah.
That was great.
They used to always have it for 2 seasons.
2 seasons back then.
Yeah. Now it's every season. Oh, money.
That was my first jersey.
Before you know it, they'll fucking have jerseys for half a season.
I must actually show you.
They'll get new jerseys in January.
United jerseys that I would have had as a kid. One of a friend of mine, or a friend of my dad's, who my dad done business with in England, had got me one of the anniversary kits that was the reversible.
Great! I had that kit. Yeah,
and the gold on the other side.
Yeah, it was that heavy. It was like.
It was so heavy. Yeah.
And then I remember, obviously, the first game I think I really remember was like when they won the FA Cup, or the game against Millwall.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, 2004.
In the black kit.
Yeah.
So then there was like the black kit, the blue kit, obviously that red kit.
Yeah.
The era Ronaldo stuff.
Yeah.
When I really started to get in and
get
after them then.
I had in that 93-94 season, I had the black away jersey. That was one of my first.
Red,
yeah.
The yellow 7.
And I had the 95-96. The blue one as well, the red one.
Oh yeah,
red one.
The away one was blue and white that year, I think.
It was the away one was blue and white.
Sharp still the sponsors then,
yeah.
Pretty sure. Few Cam or something, wasn't that?
Sharp Few Cam, yeah. I've had it, yeah. I stopped buying the jerseys there the last couple of years.
So did I.
Yeah. I feel like...
I don't think my £100 is going to make a difference, but it's principle.
I'm thinking of my kids now. I think I am probably going to buy the jersey. I'll find some other way. I'll say it on there.
Yeah. But talk about the kids. I do a lot of work in schools and stuff now. I work for a furniture company.
Yeah.
And obviously now all the kids are wearing Liverpool. I make it a point. Like there's always
they're wearing
one.
City as well.
There's always City. 1 or 2 lads, and I always make it a point, and I go over and like just knock his pencil case.
Keep
the flag flying. Fuck them. But what was do you remember your first game? First time seeing them? Was it Old Trafford?
Before I tell you that,
Sorry.
just about the kids. My daughter's 5 years old. She's in junior infants, and she said one of her friends. She goes, I won't name the friend. I'll make up a name. I'll say Lily or whatever. She said, Lily came up to me and she said, her daddy supports Liverpool. I said, oh, okay. And she, because I said to her that I like Man United because you like Man United. But she said Man United have been crap for 10 years. I said, no, they're not.
Yeah.
Like her favourite player is Rashford. She loves Rashford because of the good season he had. She wants to get Rashford on the back.
My young fella has Rashford.
But I'm trying to get her into the women's as well.
Yeah,
because they're after just winning the FA Cup.
Yeah.
You know, and Ella Toone is becoming big enough because she loves Katie McCabe.
Yeah.
Sophie, she watched the Women's World Cup and she watched those games.
Yeah.
I know we didn't get much out of it, but watching Katie McCabe, she was obviously a standout in that team.
Definitely.
I
felt the same because I have a young daughter as well. Like, and I'd love to bring her. And even Dave Moore is really pushing the on his feed. I love to see that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's very good.
Well, you heard Dave's oldest is a City fan.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
great
he did
story,
say that.
yeah.
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah.
Sends him out to the garden or something, isn't it?
Like Dave is the big. Like Dave is as United.
You're not that into. You don't really care, do you?
Yeah.
It's like, no. Well, what do you mean, Dad? Well, like your younger brother wouldn't stop crying when you.
Yeah. Is it the younger brother is like
staunch,
die hard United, like his dad.
Yeah.
But the oldest fella, he just loves playing football. That's what he was saying.
He didn't have a team; he had a player.
He just has it. Yeah.
I thought that was funny when the bit in it. He said He said, I do like Real Madrid. You should have got him to support Real Madrid and get the missus to go. He said, do you know how much it is to get 6 of us into Old Trafford, let alone go to Madrid?
To the fucking Bernabeu. In the new stadium as well. Jesus.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
It looks amazing.
They're going to piss the fucking Champions League next year.
Mbappe.
Yeah.
The big, bold Mbappe.
And do you know who they're also going to sign? Because Carvajal, he's getting on now. I'm telling you now, they're going to go for Trent. They'll have Trent at right back.
They can have him.
Do you not think Trent is good? No.
Rate him, Gavin.
I think he's a show.
Do you think he's a right midfielder?
He's a good dead ball player.
I thought he's improved his game significantly this season defensively. I think his defensive game.
Will he start for England?
Over Kyle Walker.
No chance.
Maguire's gone now.
Maguire's gone.
Supposedly.
And Madison.
Grealish is gone. And Madison. They haven't called up Brantwaite.
No. And you know what? I know, going back to United, everyone's like, Manu, it's great. Leave the lad alone.
I know, but that's...
I know. I hope... I don't want to curse the lad, but I nearly hope he gets a small injury.
Yeah.
And that he's not playing in it. Because...
Why, do you think he's going to start?
He might. He's fucking brilliant. And they'll ruin him.
Do you think Foden will play on the wing for England?
Foden has to start.
Or play as a 10? I think it's going to be Rice, Bellingham, Foden, midfield. Palmer on the left. And who's on the right? Fucking... Who did he play on the right?
Well...
Saka. Saka on the right. Kane through the middle.
That was funny.
I think Kane's going to be top goal scorer in the Euros.
If England win the Euros, they're favourites, by the way. They're the bookies' favourites, yeah. And if Kane, as you said, top scorer, you have to give him the Ballon d'Or. I know he didn't win anything with Munich, but he scored over 40. He scored over 45 goals this season in all competitions.
Who recently was quoted on a podcast that said that Harry Kane is England's best ever player? Someone big, like.
No clue.
Who the fuck was it? Was best ever goal? Was it Rooney?
He's their all-time goal scorer now, isn't he?
Was it Rooney that said it? Remember the podcast, the overlap?
It might have been Rooney, yeah.
Gary Neville was in Rooney's house, and I think Rooney said that Harry Kane is the best striker.
Rooney would be good crack to have on your podcast. That'd be good.
I think it'd be great, honestly. Talking about times Everton and obviously just going back to management now and Plymouth Argyle. So, see what happens. Really, I've played FIFA as well for the last couple of weeks, on streams and stuff. So it's great.
How's the blue Ford Fiesta still doing well?
It's great. It's great. Still running well.
Handy on petrol.
Very handy on petrol. Quite economic actually. So it's good in this day and age. Obviously, it's great to have something like that. So did the cattle sleep in the field across the way?
The Montana cattle.
I'm serious. Is that your family's cattle or is it someone else's?
They're Scouse cattle, them. Oh my God, that's funny.
Sorry.
Brilliant, that.
Right. First game at Old Trafford.
Oh yeah. That's a sign of things are going well, but go on.
April 2003. Champions League quarter-final against Real Madrid. My first game at Old Trafford.
2003.
Ronaldo hat-trick.
Oh shit.
You'd Van Nistelrooy, Scholes, Keane, Beckham,
That's right.
Zidane, Figo,
Figo.
Ronaldo, Roberto Carlos, all on the same fucking
Is that the
pitch.
thing?
Raul.
No, is that the time the Madrid fans clapped Ronaldo?
The United fans clapped him off
Yeah. Yeah.
after he scored his hat trick.
But that's
He's
yeah.
also my favourite player of all time. Ronaldo, like he's. I met him in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
I said to him, I had to say it to him. I said, I'm a Man United fan. I said, my first game, I said, was watching you score the hat trick. And he went, oh.
He's good English, isn't he?
Yeah, oh, good game. Yeah, fucking amazing
He
game.
was unbelievable.
He's unplayable, man.
What
They always say if it wasn't for injuries.
What was some of the more was that the most memorable game you've been at?
Yeah, definitely. We didn't go through, but just
No, but like Jesus, yeah. I was at another memorable game that United didn't go through. I was at the game against Porto,
oh yeah,
and I had really good seats.
Mourinho. So you've seen
I
Mourinho?
was about 3 rows in the pitch, and the dugout was just to my left. Mourinho just runs past me.
You were
And
probably
my-
like, who's this prick?
My jersey. Who scored the United goal? Silvestre, wasn't it?
Yeah.
My cousin was sitting beside me, and I was I was actually getting it signed by a few of the players outside. But I was wearing the white one with remember the little thin lines on it. That was the jersey.
Yes,
the
yes,
away
yeah.
jersey. But Sylvester scored, and my cousin jumps up like, yeah, and he mills me in the nose.
Oh,
Busted
gee.
your nose.
Fucking jersey.
After getting
You know-
signed.
You know who was sitting beside me was your man from Coronation Street, Tyrone. And he was like, "Mate, what happened?" I'm like, I don't care, I'm Sylvester. But then Mourinho, man, yeah, just ran by me with the coat. I was like, you fuck. Yeah.
2004. That
Yeah.
was, wasn't it?
2004, yeah. No, I was at the Barcelona game, the recent one. Remember the two?
Oh, the Anthony.
I was at that game.
That was a great game.
That was a
Yeah,
good game, yeah.
that was a
But
great
I'll
game.
never ever forget my first game in Old Trafford was 98-99. It was the first home game. It was Leicester.
Leicester.
2-2.
2-2, yeah.
And I'll never forget
We were written off, weren't we?
taking the steps. You know the steps? And
Yeah.
you see the pitch and you're like,
I know. It's amazing, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
it's just... And I can't wait.
You're just in awe.
Can't wait to take my kids, and I hope to God that they still have the same feeling that I had
Yeah.
that day. Like it was like seeing Mecca. It was
Yeah.
like seeing fucking heaven. It was like
Isn't it? Yeah.
It's just like holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit. And
I
know-
felt that way going to the Madrid game when I walked in. I also felt that way when I walked into fucking the the New Orleans Superdome in 2018 and I seen the WrestleMania sign. So being a huge wrestling fan
Yeah.
most of my life and just seeing that set, Now, it wasn't the best WrestleMania, let's be honest. It was a bit of a lackluster one.
Right.
But fuck me, when I walked in and I just seen,
tingles, man.
I just got a view of how big the set was, the big WrestleMania sign. I was like, oh my, I had to stop. I stopped for about 20 seconds. I was
to take it in.
To take it in.
Yeah.
And people were like, excuse me, come on, sir.
Yeah.
I just had to.
Yeah,
took my phone and I took a picture, but I looked at it like, oh my God.
Because it's the surreal thing, like, I don't know about you, Al, but like growing up, there was not too many people got to go to Old Trafford. Like, it was like you can't get tickets, like.
Yeah.
You can't get tickets.
They're not as accessible as they are now. Or
like, there used to be a couple of supporters clubs and stuff like that. I was in the Dublin supporters group. I actually got to give Van Nistelrooy a trophy.
No way.
As part of the Dublin supporters group, there was like every kid got his name into the hat, and I got picked there, and I got to give after the game.
Brilliant.
But that feeling of just seeing it and just it's like you said, you have to kind of go.
Oh yeah.
Because it seemed like it was like, the Wizard of Oz. It was like you just can't go there.
Yeah.
And then when you're there, like WrestleMania, you're like, I'm fucking here.
Yeah.
There's the pitch. There's the ring.
It's crazy.
There's the sign. I need a minute.
Yeah, you need a minute to take it all in.
It's like a concert. It's like seeing your favourite band. Like, me and Luke got to see Metallica in Slane. We're big Metallica fan. And we got the gold circle, and we were like right up there. And like the band were like fucking right there. And you're like,
yeah, that's special.
Yeah, like
that's special.
Here to that corner away was
like that,
James Hetfield, like
the lead singer. And you're like, it's like that surreal moment. I shouldn't be that close to him, like, because he's a fucking god.
The weather was good that
it was
okay.
okay.
It wasn't too bad. It rained
okay.
a little bit, but we avoided it mostly.
I went to Guns N' Roses in 2017.
I was there as well.
And that was fucking shit, but it was a brilliant gig.
Yeah, it was good crack.
Yeah.
It was good crack.
It rained heavy that day too.
Yeah.
Ponchos were out left, right and centre. At least it dried off for the end.
Yeah.
Which wasn't too bad, but it was good crack.
Back to United then for a minute. Obviously it was a tough season.
Yeah.
What do you think has to happen?
I think they should give him a chance. I think with football clubs now, managers work under a structure. They don't really have that much power anymore. That dynamic worked years ago. It doesn't work anymore. You need to have people in specific jobs that kind of put in the technical kind of work that would be a boatload for a manager. For a manager to have to have those those duties at the club. I think keep Ten Hag, strip him of a couple of the titles that he kind of has at the club, unofficial titles. I mean, I think he's overseeing a lot of the youth teams. I think he's in charge of transfers. Strip that. Just
that's what I was going to ask
let's make it as basic as possible. He has a good team around him. Let him just coach. Let him just fucking hyper focus on the coaching aspect of the club and have the likes of Wilcox. If it's Ashworth coming in, Barada in there to help him out. And listen, I'm not saying he can't have a say at all in transfers. It's just his track record isn't too good.
No. They're definitely his sign.
Anthony Malacia is out for the whole year. Casemiro looked great last year, but
he did.
I don't think he wanted Casemiro actually. I think he wanted De Jong.
He was a more commercial boy.
He was a commercial boy. Who else? I think Anthony, like Mason Mount. I think he's
where did he go afterward?
I think Mason Mount's a great player.
But he
can't get a string.
He can't play Bruno and Mount.
Yeah. So I think his signings are questionable.
Hyland will come good.
Hyland will come good. Martinez, I believe, when fully fit, he's one of the best in the world.
He is a monster.
An absolute monster. Yeah.
But we've a massive fucking hole to fill in the bag.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
If we want to go for the guy from Everton, we're going to pay out the arse.
Yeah. They're in a bit of a financial tiffy at the moment, though, Everton. So.
Yeah, you might. I see the guy from Bournemouth now, the left back. Like, Look, if you ask...
He tore us to shreds.
He did, twice.
Yeah. Kirkes. Yeah.
I think we need another flushing of players to get rid.
Oh, yeah.
I think...
Oh, there's a massive clear out need.
I know you're a massive fan of Bruno. My opinion, I think he's a brilliant player. I think we need him. But if the right money comes in,
Let him go.
I think, we can't. Like, Bruno's fishing for big money.
He's 100 million.
Yeah.
You're paying... I think he's a £100 million player.
Yeah. But he's also 30, nearly. Isn't he 30
Yeah.
this year? But what I'm saying is, if we give him another contract, you're talking Casemiro money weekly. I think the biggest problem is these fucking contracts are mental.
Oh, yeah.
And they have to
Contracts
stop
that don't match performances.
that. No. Like, obviously, Rashford is pissed about something.
Yeah.
And the whole Sancho thing, I don't think Sancho...
But it's one of the greatest resurrections in football history.
Is it,
It's
though?
one of the... Sancho.
But it's a shit league.
No, it's one of the greatest resurrections in football history. 6 goals and assists.
Yeah.
No. That's what they said.
Mm.
That's the way. That's the narrative that they spun.
Yeah. Just to put pressure
Because he had a good fucking game against
Yeah.
PSG.
Yeah.
He's amazing. Oh my God! Look at how
They all just hate United.
they just hate United.
Yeah. They love
The way they were hyping up Sancho,
But it's all
saying that this
tricky.
is one of the best.
Mm.
I was looking at it like, oh my fucking God.
Well,
But I mean,
unfortunately,
he
for
was-
Dortmund, you wouldn't have known he was on the field last Saturday.
No, you wouldn't have. No.
Sabitzer.
And Sabitzer, yeah.
Muck.
I feel sorry for Dortmund, because they're a club that I respect, and
Their fans are
their fans are amazing.
unbelievable.
Their values are great as well as a club, So
The
you,
ticket sales, all that stuff in Germany.
Yeah,
I
you
love
hate to see that.
I love that.
but as well, like I have a bit of a soft spot for Madrid. I think I don't really like Barca too much, especially with what's happened with them the last couple of years. How
The referees.
the corruption's coming out about them, and even after they beat us in the Champions League finals, I just thought, I can't stand these fuckers. So I always kind of had a soft spot for Madrid, even though Madrid essentially
They're owned by the banks and the king.
they're owned by the banks, and they kind of monopolise the league as well. Yeah. But I'm happy. Like I am from a general standpoint. I am happy that Mbappe has gone to Madrid. I am. I think it's a good thing for football to have essentially the best player in the world playing. They're going to win everything.
Galacticos.
Like that front three now of fucking
Vinicius.
Vinny Jr., Rodrigo, and Mbappe through the middle, and Bellingham behind them.
Feeding
Like,
them. Yeah, it's scary, man, to think about it.
and remember they've Camavinga, they've Tchouaméni,
They've two.
they have your man, that Brazilian lad Endrick,
Yeah.
who they're calling him the next.
Camavinga's going to be brilliant too.
Camavinga is
What's he playing? 2
Class.
Champions League finals already.
yeah.
But you know what I was thinking?
That
today?
the old dog and Luka Modric still there as
Yeah,
well.
got another contract.
Got another contract.
Is Cruz gone? Is that
Cruz is
Yeah,
gone.
Yeah, he packed.
Cruz could have gone another 2 years.
Yeah.
But you know what? Fair play to him
Is
for.
he going to Saudi or
No, he's done.
is he retired?
He's retired. He'll play the Euros,
Right.
and that's it.
I love the way the Germans do that. It's just so precise that that's it.
That's
Like,
it.
I don't need
Yeah.
to go. I've said that's enough.
Yeah, no mind games. That's
Yeah.
it.
Well, it's the
Vettel
best
calling
way.
it a day in Formula One, being like, no.
Could you imagine how legendary it would be if Germany win the Euros with Toni Kroos
Champions
after he's
League.
won the Champions League? Like
and
you'd have to say,
You wouldn't. rule
you'd
them
have
out.
to put him in there as one of the best midfielders of all time.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
would. I think. Listen, I know we all talk about Xavi and Iniesta, but Kroos and Modric,
Modric's just class.
like they don't get enough credit.
You know what I like about Modric? He's dirty as well. There's a nastiness to him.
There is, yeah.
And he gets away with it. He's
Stuck
clever.
in.
I'm telling you now, right? You look at Kroos and Modric. They played a large portion of their career at Real Madrid. They played with Ronaldo, but then after Ronaldo left, they still fucking won trophies.
They shone, yeah.
They still
Yeah.
managed to do it. I don't think Xavi and Iniesta would have continued that trend with Barcelona after Messi. If Messi had left earlier,
Yeah.
if Messi had say, you know, let's
I know what you mean, yeah.
let's create an alternative timeline where Messi leaves Barcelona in 2012. Xavi and Iniesta are still there.
Yeah.
I don't think they win a Champions League. I think Madrid take the reins in winning consecutive La Ligas as well.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You know, then you don't see kind of Suarez coming in. You don't see Neymar coming in.
Suarez, that was a mad one.
I just and I'm not saying like Xavi and Iniesta.
Oh yeah.
You know,
You know,
they're arguably the greatest midfielders of all time. But I think it's not ridiculous to say that Kroos and Modric maybe
No,
slightly pipped them. Yeah.
So yeah. And like Pirlo, I just think of midfielders right now.
I think elegant midfielder, Scholes, Pirlo.
Scholesy, yeah.
You know,
Who would you like to see coming into United?
I'd like to see Branthwaite come in. I really like him, but as it might be an overinflated price. I have said Ivan Toney, but his form concerns me since he's come back from the whole scandal as well. Yeah.
Do you think Rashford will stay?
Yeah, I do. I think, yeah.
Even the
I
way
think he
he's
will.
teary-eyed at the end of the FA Cup and all that.
Oh, yeah, true. I mean, if you're to get an offer of 70 million for Rashford, take it.
Oh man, you get more than that.
If I'm hearing the rumours are true about
PSG?
about Saudi Arabia, Al Nasser wanting Casemiro for 80 million. Like, oh my God, jackpot.
That's right.
Yeah.
You'll fly him yourself.
Fly him yourself.
Put his knee in the boot.
Get Paul Tierney in and bring him on the jet ski.
PT, mate.
What about this crack that Inter Miami want to bring Ronaldo to join Messi? Two of them on the same team.
It's
That's fun.
it's a lost cause. It's not.
That's the pantomime.
Yeah.
David Beckham, your old buddy.
Yeah, I mean, you could do some sort of, last dance really and see what happens. But yeah, I mean,
I think it should have been done at Juventus, or Juventus should have tried to have.
Oh, I would have loved to see Ronaldo win the Champions League with Juve.
With Juve, yeah.
I was at the game in Old Trafford when he scored, the bastard. Was it?
Yeah.
It was Dybala scored.
Dybala, yeah.
I was at that game. Fucking Jesus. I
Yeah.
did the boat that day. Oh my God. Longest day trip.
Oh,
It was the only way I could get a ticket.
fuck's sake.
And I was like, I'll buy the ticket off you. I don't want to go on the boat. They're like, I'm like, I'll give you all the money
Yeah.
for the trip, but just give me the ticket and I'll fly. They're like, no, we don't do it like that.
Oh no. That same year I was at the Liverpool
like a
game where Rashford scored two.
Sort of thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Well, what about up top? Would you
You definitely bring someone in to compete
someone with more
with
experience
Hoyland.
to help Highland? I think he needs. He's fast. He's strong. But he almost looked this year like he just didn't get the Premier League. But it has happened. A lot of strikers would have taken.
Yeah, but he's double digits.
Yeah,
He scored 16 goals in all competitions.
true.
It's not bad
It's not bad.
for his first season.
No, not at all. But he has it in him. I just think, like, if you had someone like Zlatan or someone there, like in his,
In his
maybe a bit
prime.
younger than when we had him.
I think bring in a younger striker this time round. Not in the mid 20s kind of. I think a Dominic Solanke.
Tell you what, Ivan Toney could teach him a thing or two.
Ivan Toney could. I know I've said it. His form has been a bit of a concern, but there's still a player there, and Toney's all-round game as well. It doesn't get the plaudits that it deserves.
Yeah, 'cause
His
he's-
all-round game is
He's
phenomenal.
usually feeding off long balls.
Yeah.
With him on his own, holding
Yeah.
up the ball and, making
Yeah.
all the work himself.
And if you want Watkins as well, you're going to have to pay about 80, 90 million for him. That's what Villa are. Like Watkins has one of his best individual seasons. They'd look for that kind of money because they're in the Champions League.
Yeah.
I think Grealish is going to end up back there.
At Villa, I do as
You were
well.
saying
Yeah,
that,
I
didn't you?
do. I think.
Yeah, you did say
I think
that.
he'll end up back at Villa 100%.
Do you think he'll go this season?
No.
No, another.
I think he's going to have a shit year with City because something's up with him.
Yeah.
And they're going to say, oh yeah, just get rid of him. And Villa will come with the arms wide open with a bit of greed.
And well, another option I always said was your man Mehdi Taremi of Porto, Iranian striker,
Yeah.
top class, consistent, like average 22 to 25 goals a season, every season, consistently. That kind of, and he's 30. Like,
What about Onana?
I think,
God, he could have cost us that FA Cup.
yeah, he could have. He's a yo-yo goalkeeper.
Crazy, yeah.
Like, you don't know. There's no middle ground with him.
Someone says he pulled off earlier, bang. Like,
He can pull off
He
one
should
of
have
the
saved
most
that one.
impossible saves, and then he can concede one of the most
A hurler.
ridiculous goals. A howler.
Back to here, all is forgiven.
Poor De Gea.
I would have brought him back to compete. I don't know where the hay is going to go.
No one wants him.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's his.
Don't know why we got rid of Kovar.
I just don't know. I just, there's so many things you just don't know, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
You'd love to be sitting on that board of directors.
I would not.
No.
I'm grey enough. Back to the impressions. You're in a new TV show, Deepfake.
Yeah. Well, it came out 2 years ago now.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But your part.
Yeah, that came out 2 years ago. Now, I'm in a new TV show called Borders, in which I play myself.
Okay.
I play a character, but I am myself. But the Deepfake Neighbour Wars, yeah, they use deepfake technology.
Yeah.
And it's kind of it's a fictional setting of, what if celebrities lived in
Seen the one on
a
Matthew
council estate in the UK. Yeah. That was my pal Schaefer who did McConaughey.
Very funny.
Yeah, he was brilliant. And I did Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
That was really great. You're talking like that, you constantly out of breath. I don't know how he gets out of breath so quickly. I don't know what that's all about. It really concerns me because, he's a very fit guy. He's constantly in the gym, in and out. What are you going to do?
Famous prayers.
What do you think of the Boston Celtics for this year's NBA Finals, Marky Mark?
I think we're going to do it. I think we are. It's
Banner
tradition.
18 on the way.
Well, that's it. Number 18. We get number 18, we're ahead of the fucking Lakers. All right? So I say to the Lakers, fuck you. All right? Hey, Genie, no offense, but fuck you. I don't live in LA no more. I live in that Las Vegas. They ain't got no basketball team, so God, yeah. Hope you do a really good job. All right.
Let's go.
Against those fucking Mavericks. Doncic.
Brilliant. On the impression topic, did you ever do an impression to somebody that you kind of felt intimidated to do it?
Oh, Sir Alex.
Tell us about that.
Oh, I was doing a gig a few years ago, right? I got to tell this story to Sir Alex. I was a few years ago in Old Trafford. I was for Wilf McGuinness, right? Now, Wilf couldn't make it. He wasn't well that night. But his son was there. And also in Will's place, last minute replacement was the boss. And I did a gig and went well. I actually sat at the top table with Fergie and David Gill. I spoke to David Gill for a good 2.5 hours.
Is that over in England?
Yeah, in Manchester, in Old Trafford, in one of the suites. David Gill was an absolute gent. Such a lovely man, and that Sir Alex was telling us funny stories. He was on the wine, like he was giddy.
Yeah.
And then I did the impression to him. Alan Keegan, who was the MC of Old Trafford, was interviewing me, and I did the impression.
Did he ask you to do it? Or was
Oh, it's all right. No, yeah.
No, the guy, the MC, did he ask you
Yeah,
to do
yeah,
it?
yeah.
I'd see
I
you
turned around shitting myself.
Shitting
As I said, oh God, I'm shitting myself. And that's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I turned around to Alex Ferguson and did the impression too.
There's a video with that, isn't there?
I think there is,
I
yeah.
think there is.
Yeah.
He got a good kick out of it.
He did, yeah. He got a good kick out of it.
What a legend, man.
I couldn't believe it, yeah.
That would have been a great laugh.
Oh, Jesus.
To gig in front of him, like, it was just surreal.
That moment we talked about where you had to kind of go, holy shit, I'm in a room with him.
Yeah.
This is happening.
I'm sitting with
There was that at the top table sitting beside him, like, oh, this is
This is...
too much. This is no.
I'd be crying, I think. I think I just couldn't
Yeah.
handle it. Did you ever...
He spoke about Barthez.
Did he? He loved the
A
fact.
fucking lunatic, as he said.
He used to smoke in the toilet, didn't he?
Yeah.
Before going out.
He said he's a fucking lunatic, that boy.
Rally driving now or something.
As he said, I didn't want to play in goals. He wanted to play at front all the time. So we played pre-season game. I said, you know what, you mad bastard? I'm going to put someone else in and you play up front. And he did play up front. It's where he had two fucking left feet. So he was talking about Barthez. He was laughing about it, like.
Jesus Christ. I remember reading something about Barthez just went to the toilet and smoked like 2 fags before he went.
It's unreal.
He went rally driving then or something.
Yeah.
He was French, wasn't he, Barthez?
Yeah.
French, yeah.
Crazy bastard.
Crazy.
They're all crazy.
One of the
like.
first, though, like, he was ahead of his time.
He was like
One of the first ball-playing goalkeepers. Just play out from the back and all.
So he used to lose it a lot.
He did, yeah.
What was
That's
the
because
case?
nobody knew that kind
What
of...
was the goalie's name? A mean machine.
Oh, was it Jason Statham that played the goalie?
Oh, what, he had a nickname. Oh shit, what is it?
I forget his name.
Oh god. Oh, it'll come to me in a minute. Did you ever do your impersonation of Keane to Keane?
No,
No.
no. I met him, though,
Did you?
because I did the overlap
Yes.
last year in the Tree Arena. And
That's
that was
right.
amazing, yeah.
That's right.
And I was with Cara and Neville and Keane, and I was talking to Keane for a good bit, like.
Good crack.
Yeah, I said, talking about strikers, who United should, I don't know who I mentioned. I mentioned Osimhen. You know, no, listen, you know, if you're going for a striker, you'd go Harry Kane. You know, listen, you know, the young lad, he'd got a decent season at Napoli, you know, he's one of the best strikers in the world, they're saying, but it's only one season. You look at Harry Kane, you know, he's doing consistently every year.
He's not wrong.
No, but as he said, you know, he's Premier League proven. You go for Harry Kane. It's the kind of player you want to play. You know, you want to go for that.
I wonder would it close with him?
You wonder what?
Would it close to getting him, or did he even try and get
You
him?
didn't even know about that. Would you be close to getting it? What are you talking about? They didn't even try.
I don't know.
They didn't even try for Osimhen either. And they went and bought Highland.
Yeah.
Because she's the same agency as Ten Hag. Hey, so you want me to stay or leave? Hey, I believe it's okay. We have to look at philosophy and structure and the values of the club. So we have to keep going.
Having a good
It's a
alarm
process. It's a what?
clock. Having a good alarm clock, Sancho.
It's an old lady. I would, if it was Louis van Gaal, I would have fucked him out in January. Not on loan. I say I don't care how much we lose. 15 million, fuck off.
What would Mourinho say?
Oh, of course, I'd let them go for 5 million. I think so. I think his attitude absolutely stunk. As bad as a skunk. I think so. As bad as SpongeBob's breath in one of those episodes where he had bad breath. I think so. Nah. Hello.
So your talent has brought you to some amazing places, Al. You got to go on a pretty amazing tour with Tyson Fury and his crew
Yeah.
of merry men.
Tell us how that ended up coming about. I'd love to hear that.
Oh my God. I mean, that was 2021. So I know Tyson's management. I've known Tyson's manager, Spencer. Spencer's right-hand man, James Ward. I've known them a good few years now, and they've always been so good to me. They've always given me opportunities. I've got to do gigs with Floyd Mayweather. Obviously, do gigs with Tyson. Mike Tyson I did a gig with. But the Tyson Fury thing came along. Yeah, it was 2021. I did 2 gigs with him in 2019. About a month after the first Wilder fight. So this was after the third Wilder fight, and we did like an 8-show tour. That spanned over a week. We were all together.
Some amazing venues too.
Yeah. Oh, the Empire in Liverpool, O2 Apollo Manchester, O2 Indigo in London. One of them was in Sheffield as well.
Serious crap.
That's Glasgow. The theatre. What's the theatre in Glasgow?
Is it, or no? That's the arena.
That's the arena.
Oh.
Big enough in Glasgow anyway.
Yeah.
And like it was just amazing. It was the funniest fucking week ever. I don't know if you heard about the plane ride
Oh, I seen the video, man. I nearly pissed me off.
from London to Glasgow.
I'm not going to fit into that fucking...
John, we'd be dust. I tell you right now, it'd be dust on the ground. We're gonna end up like Buddy Holly.
Did you see the video?
No.
John went crazy on the plane.
Tiny plane. Like.
Yeah, he went mad on the plane.
Ballistic.
We were given gourmet sandwiches and he scrunched the sandwiches up while we were taking off and fucking threw them on the ground. It was the funniest thing ever. Now John, bless him, he was going through it. Like, this is a man who you see, you know, he has no fear.
Yeah.
No fear whatsoever, but this got him, this shook him. But then towards the end, like Spencer as well, Tyson's, like, we're all big men. I'm a big guy, you know. Spencer's big, John's big, and then you've got fucking Tyson, and you've got Big Brendan, his security guard from Cardiff, who's another fucking unit.
And his brother Huey's a big fella as well.
Well, Huey wasn't with us.
But he is.
Huey's big, and shit. No, Huey.
Or is it Shane?
Shane's a big fella.
Bigger nearly than Tyson.
But this plane was tiny.
Tiny.
Yeah.
Buddy Holly job.
It was grand. The flight was fine. It was when we landed, we could not stop laughing. We laughed because John, like there's the video, and it's like you can see John at the start. Like, John refused to go on when we were walking up the steps, like the lovely air hostess. So it'll be okay. I'm not going. Get me in the car. We'll drive up. I don't care how long it takes. We'll drive up. I can't get on that plane. It was honestly the funniest fucking hour and a half of my life.
Where was the
that?
flight?
Like when we were in the arena later on that night, I just look at Spencer.
It started to laugh.
And we just start fucking laughing. We could.
And was there commentary for like the whole flight?
Was it silent?
To stop, curb the silence, or was everybody?
Yeah, we
just
were
so
all
To
no.
take off silent.
Tyson was grand.
Yeah.
Was he? Yeah.
Tyson was grand. Yeah. But it was like Spencer. Spencer was in like the fucking. He was in like the holding area. He didn't sit with us. He sat away because he has a massive fear of flying. So for him to just like, have you seen Spencer being interviewed? Spencer's kind of become more of a public figure now that he's Tyson's manager, and he's involved in a lot of the cards now in Saudi. But Spencer was in the back, and all he could do was just laugh. He just kept laughing and laughing and laughing.
Fuck it, if I go, I'd be
I'll
allowed.
go. Yeah.
But the day before that, like, we had great crack as well, because we pranked a fella from Glasgow. He came down to the London show, and he's my friend's going up to the show tomorrow. He's a huge fan of Tyson. And Spencer said, you know what? He's a big Trump fan, your friend, isn't he? He goes, oh yeah, he's a massive Trump fan. Loves Donald Trump.
Oh, no.
Thinks he's great. So I said, well, I forget. I think his name was Lewis. I said, you know what, Lewis? I look forward to meeting you in Glasgow tomorrow. Said, it's been really great. You know, obviously I don't have much to do, but I've been secretly with the Furies. I'll be there tomorrow, and I'll see you backstage.
He fell for it?
He fell for it.
Oh, he did.
Oh, I cannot wait to meet you, sir. I cannot wait to meet you. You're the greatest president in my lifetime. I said, thank you so much, Lewis. What a tremendous guy you are. I really look forward to meeting you. And I said, isn't Tyson great? Isn't he wonderful? What he did with Deontay Wilder in that third fight was legendary. He's one victory. It was absolute.
Did he go into the arena thinking he was there?
Yeah, and then he met me.
Paul Tierney, who? That's a better story.
That's a much better story.
That is
No,
absolutely.
your one is better.
That is brilliant.
Oh my
He
god.
fell for it. You had him wrapped around the finger by.
Yeah.
Then you got to go out to Saudi and that, didn't
We
you?
was out in Saudi for the the Fury and Ghani fight, and that was interesting. That gig was one of the most prestigious and most important gigs in my life, but it was such a fucking tough gig because everyone was just doing their own thing and walking around, and nobody knew there was a comedian on. But I got on with it. You know what I mean? I'm experienced enough to know that it's probably not going to go too well tonight. You know, given that you can always gauge the crowd. You know, in my line of work, the couple of first front rows were like Antonio Tarver, who was ex middleweight champion.
Okay.
He was he played the villain. He played Rocky's opponent in Rocky Balboa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he was brilliant. Him and all his mates were there. The Furies were up for it. Loads of other people. Like Mike Tyson was watching as well. Like Eminem was in that room when I was
I'd
gigging.
say Mike had a great laugh.
I think so. I could see him laughing, but you see, everybody was a multi-time they were talking. You know, so it was a big distraction. There was no, and it was after the meal. When it comes after the meal, sometimes, people just want to stretch the legs.
It's so fucking good.
But listen, Rio Ferdinand was there. He said, listen, mate, that was fantastic. Unbelievable. Him, Ronaldo was there.
But the fact that Eminem, I'll just say Eminem, I don't know how he reacted.
But he was
And
there.
I don't give a shit
Yeah.
if I ever find out how he reacted, if he even fucking heard it. But the fact that he was in that room,
Your audience.
Yeah.
he was a part, I got to perform in front of him, I'll forever,
Yeah.
that's like,
Christmas.
yeah.
That's your Christmas morning.
There's not too many can say that.
And I really hope he heard the Trump, I really do, because I know he doesn't like Trump.
Does he not know?
No.
It would have been great to diss him on stage.
No.
But like Eminem, like that's one of my like him and fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin and Scholes and fucking.
Imagine if you got to a few beers with Stone Cold.
Oh, hell, I love that. What?
What?
Hell, I love a couple of beers of Stone Cold Steve Austin. Head to that Broken Skull Ranch. Shoot the shit.
That's so good.
What?
What?
Have some of that Broken Skull IPA.
Go on. The
You love it.
podcast.
All you motherfucking hipsters love that drink. So we made the IPA for you, and then we got the drink for the normal working man. What?
Get to meet Poncho the cat.
Poncho. Hershey the Wonder Dog. Moo the Lamb.
So good. I never heard that. That's so fucking
What?
Fucking brilliant. What?
What do I do? Ric Flair as well.
Do you?
I gotta say, back in the day, I was one of the greatest of all time. Now I'm irrelevant. Woo! It was Bret Hart's when we won.
You have to mention Goldberg.
Well, I know when you're talking about Bill Goldberg. I think he's one of the worst workers ever. I don't like him. Triple H, I think, is one of the most overrated guys you'll ever see. All of his matches were 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
I love Bret. I actually love.
He's my hero.
No, Bret. I fucking love Bret, and I've grown to. Like when I said about like Michael Jackson the last couple of years, I've got to really appreciate him as a wrestling fan. And I loved Bret Hart. I always had like,
He got fucked. Like.
he got fucked and he didn't deserve it because he was a stand-up guy and he was a locker room leader and everyone loved him. Nobody ever had an issue with him.
That was Vince, wasn't it?
It was Vince that fucked him. And obviously
Shawn
the
Michaels,
only
wasn't it?
person he had an issue with in his career was Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. And Shawn Michaels was the breadwinner at the time, I think.
And Bill Goldberg, understandably.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels was, but like, you know, Shawn Michaels himself will tell you that the Shawn Michaels in the 1990s
It's not the
was one
same
of the
Shawn
biggest
Michaels.
douchebags like he was an asshole.
Oh yeah.
Playboy Mansion, all that shit.
Asshole.
Yeah, just bad.
But
bad way
here's the
going on.
thing. You like even during the 90s when he was out of it, like fucking living that rock star life, you get him in that ring for fucking 20, 25
he
minutes.
performed.
He fucking performed.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Shawn Michaels is probably one of the greatest performers of all time in wrestling history.
Definitely.
Like I always had my favorite
Mick Foley's
superstar.
up
Foley's up there. My favorite superstar was Steve Austin, and my favorite wrestler to watch was Kurt Angle.
Yeah. Kurt
I
was
met Kurt.
incredible.
I went to the show in the Liberty Hall.
No way.
Yeah, and I met Kurt. I met Kurt Angle, and I got to watch it. I got a photo with him and everything.
Perk Angle.
Oh
He's far from Perk Angle now.
no!
Yeah.
What a legend.
Yeah, absolute
I
legend.
used to love watching Mick Foley, like them Hell in a Cell. You know, obviously, we all know it's not. You know,
Yeah.
But they're still jumping off fucking cages.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
Put through it.
Fucking
There's nothing fake
the
about
shit
that.
that he done in Japan.
yeah.
Fucking nuts.
I know.
He
Crazy.
put his body on the line.
And I gotta say, like, I think Cody, I think he's like
Cody Rhodes.
just a fucking good guy as well. And like,
delighted
I'm
to see
happy
him win.
that and I'm
Delighted.
happy that he is the main. He is like gonna be the top baby face now for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Cause you have to remember
deserves it.
he's hitting 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cody
Oh,
is
yeah.
he's not young, so I think he deserves these few years
It's like
at the top.
I think I was
And
watching with the legacy with Ted DiBiase
Yeah.
Jr. and Cody Rhodes with under Randy years ago was like
yeah.
2008, 2009.
And again, but what they've done with Roman Reigns now was a masterstroke in turning him heel. Now, when he goes back, he's gonna come back as a face. It's people are gonna fucking cheer for him.
Yeah.
Because of that run that he went on, which was legendary. You know,
Something else.
he's top class. He really is. He like, yeah. I mean, they got it right by doing that. It's so unique as well that a heel was like the top fucking seller in the company
For
like,
so long.
For so long,
that
was the
reign,
main
yeah.
guy, the number one guy. Because it was always they had to rely on the baby face, but
Yeah.
the dynamics changed.
Yeah. Will we finish up with a bit of question time, Luke?
I think we will.
Yeah.
Right. Can you name a book, an album, and a movie everyone should check out?
A book, an album.
A movie.
Right, I'll start with movie. Because I was on with is it John Fardy on News Talk. Covers the movie, yeah. John Fardy. And one of my favourite movies of all time is Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights.
I think it's one of the fucking. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
No.
Amazing movie.
Oh, man.
It's now.
I might be.
Do you know Paul Thomas Anderson? He directed
Name doesn't ring a bell.
Magnolia and Punch Drunk Love. What else did he do? There Will Be Blood. He directed that
Yes.
with Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
It's one of his first films. It came out in 1997. It's about the porn industry
Marky
in the
Mark.
70s. But it's Mark Wahlberg, Burt Reynolds, Julianne Moore, the late Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
William
sad,
H.
isn't
Macy.
it?
It's a sad movie, but it's like
Great cast.
it's like
Yeah.
it's kind of like a Scorsese styled movie,
It is.
but it's kind of it's kind of the golden era of
the new vibe
porn
of
in the
porn.
California,
The lifestyle.
and it's fucking Burt Reynolds is class in it.
He's brilliant.
He's brilliant in it.
He's coming to the end of the career, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's coming to the twilight of his career, but
He's bringing
he's
the new.
deadly in it.
Brilliant.
New
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's John C. Riley's in it as well.
No
John
way.
C. Yeah, John C. Riley.
Fucking
It's like Don Cheadle as well.
Yeah.
It's an all-star cast.
He's the cameraman or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The soundtrack is class. It's just such a stylish film. I'd highly recommend
Boogie
people watch it.
Nights.
Boogie Nights.
Good movie.
It's a class movie.
Brilliant. You have
Um,
to get watching that one.
Yeah, no,
An
it's
album?
top class. Album. Oh God, guys, what have you done to me?
Oasis.
Yeah,
I don't want to put words in your mouth.
there's so many.
It's a tough question.
I give you an obvious one, but it's too no. Oh, this is so hard. I have to come back to it.
Right.
Books. I'm shit with books.
Okay.
But I have one for you.
Okay.
But I do have one for you. I when Game of Thrones came out, I decided to read the books. A Storm of Swords, Game of Thrones. I believe that's the third book with the Red Wedding.
What a show. I loved it.
Yeah.
Never got in on it.
No?
Oh my God.
No, not something I got in
I
on.
have.
I wouldn't be really into
I envy you
Yeah.
right now when you
Wouldn't
fucking
you?
get
when you're
into it.
starting from
When he
scratch.
starts it,
Yeah.
I envy you.
So good.
Yeah, and like I really enjoyed Lord of the Rings.
Oh man, if
You
you,
know, so-
I'm not a big fan of fantasy, and like I watch Harry Potter and all that. This is
Class.
fucking
It's
brilliant.
unbelievable.
I'll have to get in on it.
Definitely. Oh, I'd love to be
there
on
and
there.
discuss like
Yeah.
No, mate.
Not
in
knowing,
your shoes
not-
right now, not knowing
Well,
anything
you could watch it,
about
Al.
this.
You could watch. There's so much happens in Game of Thrones. I feel like you could watch it again. Like there's you know
Yeah.
all the families and so much happens.
So much,
I
yeah.
watched some of the spin-off episodes with a friend of
Oh,
mine.
don't even bother. Go back to the start.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. Rumours album.
Fleetwood Mac.
People Mac.
Yeah, I think
Unbelievable.
just we didn't get to speak about Fleetwood Mac. They were also a huge part. I think anybody's childhood. All our
everyone
parents
has it, yeah.
had. You know, my mom had Rumours on vinyl.
Nice.
Just Fleetwood Mac, how the individuals shown in that band, like from McVie to Buckingham to Nix to Mick Fleetwood himself.
Brilliant.
You know, they had their own fucking style. Every song was different. Do you know what I mean? You'd listen to Don't Stop and Dreams and think,
Yeah.
Yeah.
fuck me, those two songs are on the same album.
Yeah. No, they were brilliant.
Honestly though, yeah.
Go Your
and then
Own
you
Way.
think Go Your Own Way.
Yeah.
Had so many hits for one album.
She's touring again.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of their best songs ever. It's not on that album. It's Gypsy. I think Gypsy is one of Fleetwood Mac's best songs
Yeah.
ever. It came out in '82, I think. But Rumours was 1977. That album came out. I'm very just to give a shout out to my godfather, my uncle. He is a freak when it comes to like
Years.
knowing the years of albums, and I got that
You'd be
from
good
him.
too, Luke.
Yeah.
Did
Not
you-
too
yeah,
bad, not too bad.
I know the like
Yeah, you get in on it.
you get in on
It's
it.
like a nerdy thing.
Yeah,
but
like
you're just
Tango in the
happy to know it.
Night '87, Gypsy I think it was '82. Or no, what was the name of the one that
I wouldn't be a
the
big
follow up to
Fleetwood Mac.
Rumours?
But you know what a lot of people said coming on at is back in the day that when you got an album, you opened the book and you read the book and you
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's when you know the dates and where it was recorded.
Yeah,
Now it's
You know, yeah.
next.
Next,
It's just so
next.
accessible. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's what.
I'd argue and also say like a second. I mean, I remember getting College Dropout,
Oh,
and I remember thinking, "Oh fuck, this is a masterpiece.
it is a
This is a master at work."
yeah. What an album! What an album!
Unbelievable. I was like,
Unbelievable.
"Holy fuck!" I remember playing it on my Walkman.
Yeah.
Like-
You're going, what is this? This is yeah.
I think it's important that I say that because Rumours came out before I was born, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I got College Dropout, my brother got it for me as a Christmas present.
Such a good album.
Unbelievable album.
Last question for me.
Definitely one of my favourite Kanye ones.
Yeah. Well, it's the first of his
Yeah, the start
his
of
golden
many.
trilogy.
He was claiming.
What was
Yeah.
it? College Dropout, Late Registration,
Late registration.
Later, and then Graduation.
and then 808 and Heartbreaks, and then
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Like 5 albums.
First three were epic.
The first three were unbelievable, but then the fifth, My Beautiful Dark Twisted
Yeah.
Fantasy, was just as good.
Might be his best.
Do you ever play All of the Lights with the fucking intro?
Yes. Yeah.
That's if you listen to All of the Lights, listen to the piano intro before that song. because the way it segues into it is
That's
then
the
it
master
just
of
sort of
what,
hits.
producing it like that. Like,
oh,
so good.
And I love when you listen to some of the interviews with Mike Dean, and they would talk about like Kanye is supposed to be a real stickler for the drums in particular. Takes ages to sort out the drum sound. They'd have like the whole thing down, and he'll take some notion to listen to it at whatever time in the morning.
Yeah.
The producer comes back tomorrow.
did he answer to the allegations of being a Spurs fan? Mike Dean.
Oh, right.
Imagine thinking you'd all your work done. Yeah, that's the drums done. Come back in, and the man himself is like, nope, start again.
Remember when he was, like in that documentary, he was trying to break in to do his own stuff. Like, no, you just go back in there and keep
Yeah,
making
produce.
music,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, Jesus.
Last question from me.
Genius.
Name one thing on your bucket list that you haven't yet done.
Oh God. There's a lot. There's a lot that you. I mean. Oh.
Have you one, Luke? I have one.
I'd go to Glastonbury. I'd love to go to Glastonbury.
Cool, yeah. I'd like to do that too.
The lineup this year is.
Yeah, my
It's a
sister-in-law's
bit-
going, and I'm like, oh,
Look,
I wouldn't be keen on it now.
like. SZA is the main act on Sunday.
But
That's what I've seen.
there's usually
Coldplay are
surprises.
on the Saturday.
I'd like to see Coldplay. I've never
Now, if
seen
you
them.
have Coldplay, like Coldplay are the Sunday night.
Should have got Taylor Swift to do Sunday night.
I thought that was the done deal kind of thing.
Yeah, I
That
thought they
would
would
have
have had
been-
that locked
When
in.
is it?
It's a couple of weeks.
Is it the weekend she plays in Ireland?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I
Not
don't
sure.
know.
Have you anything on your bucket list?
I'd love to go to Japan.
Oh, it's another thing. I
Yeah.
actually wanted to go to Japan. Would have loved to have gone there.
Yeah.
Now, I've kind of delved into nature, America.
Yeah.
Now I want to fucking go.
Montana.
I want to go to Wyoming, Montana.
Maybe that's
I
our
do-
bucket list. Is
Oh,
get into
yeah, well,
America.
I want to. I want to go on a. I do want to go on a
Go to
on
Manchester,
a
Tennessee.
camping trip. Yeah,
Go to Whispering Oaks.
Whispering Oaks. But I do. I'd love to get an RV when my kids are older
Yeah.
and do that trip.
Yeah.
That'd be
'Cause my
unreal.
little girl was fucking. We're going to Radiator Springs.
Yeah, cabs.
Yeah.
It's great to have you. I'm Lightning McQueen. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh my
Wow.
God, I've seen that film about 400 times.
Oh, fuck. And Moana. How many times have you seen
Moana 2's
fucking
coming
Moana? I can't wait.
I know.
No, I'm looking forward to Inside Out too. I think
Yeah,
that'll be good.
I have the Everest Base Camp on my bucket list. Mad to do it.
You had said
Fair
that to
fucks
me
to you.
a couple of years ago about that.
That
yeah.
that'll
camp.
be life changing though.
Yeah. The only thing is I'm afraid I'll get fucking sick. The altitude sickness. It's only a walk, like it's not tough, like.
Yeah.
But it's 12 days. But I'd love to do it. I'd love to challenge myself to it.
Yeah.
Chance it. Yeah, it'd be something else.
I'd love it. I was actually looking at it before COVID. It's about $4,000. Flights, the whole lot, camps.
We'll start a GoFundMe page for Gavin.
No, I have to wait till the kids are old on kids. Because
Yeah.
you want a fun video to watch on YouTube, watch the landings, the airplane. Talk about airplanes. Lukla Airport in Nepal. That's the airport that you land into.
You're flying over fucking
It's
mountain
the
terrain.
most dangerous airport in the world. Look it up.
The landing strip is like Carrick.
It's on a
Street,
cliff,
isn't
like.
it?
Like you come across a mountain and you just go.
Oh Jesus Christ!
But
Body ollie job.
Tyson Fury job, huh? I think. Luke, are we good?
Bloody only job.
Yeah.
I think-
What's the one you like to ask? Or what's your go-to favourite fast food?
Oh yeah, that was one more.
Fast food. Oh, I gotta stick with home. I'd be a Supermax. Yeah,
Supermax.
yeah.
Fuck, jeez, that'd be well up my list.
Off your list.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Do you not like the chicken tenders?
I think the chips are crap.
Well, like fast food. Like
Chinese, I can't be. Or Indian
I think
kebab.
the lack of fucking Mexican Takeaways and Mexican restaurants in this country is a joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke, Bill. We all love our enchiladas. We all love our tacos. We all love our burritos, baby. And the fact that there's none of that, it's not accessible. I mean, there's a place down the road from me, and it's open on Friday and Saturday, both from 6 to 11. And then on the Sunday, it's open from like 12 till fucking 2. No joke. I'm giving it a plug as well. La Cochina Cuevas on the Knoll Road, between the Knoll and Balbriggan. It's a great place, baby.
No, seriously though, I know the lad.
Imagine if Eamon Dunphy and Ric Flair went for pints together.
Oh my God, what a mix!
Wouldn't that be incredible?
This guy's showing me no respect. I'm the greatest that ever lived. And my daughter is the greatest woman.
I think we'll wrap it up. We're well into our time. I really enjoyed that. I hope you got a kick out of it.
Oh, I did, boys.
Al,
I
it's been
did.
a pleasure. My God, we'll have to have you back. We could do that for another.
We could.
couple of
I
hours.
could. I told you.
Wrestling.
I told you. But you said to me before he goes to like, what? I said, I'm gonna be here a while, mate.
Yeah.
Talking about music. I'm fucking.
Yeah, loving it.
No, man, really enjoyed that, and we really appreciate your time coming
thanks,
down, especially
lads.
coming down here and having a chat with us. It was fucking class.
Oh, it was great.
Really good, man. And we wish you all the best in the future, and
Oh, thanks.
we'll
lads.
hopefully catch you soon.
Oh, definitely. And this is a great spot. This
thank
is
you.
this is a great spot
It's
for
good.
Yeah,
recording a podcast.
it's a nice casual chat.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
This is what it's all about.
yeah.
Cup of tea and a few
A
sandwiches.
few sandwiches.
In Montana.
In Montana, yeah. Yeah.
All right, folks.
Joe Montana.
That's it for this week. Catch you again soon.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I thoroughly enjoyed this week's podcast. I didn't think we were going to have that many guests on.
No,
Would you have thought that Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Eamon Dunphy, Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro, Gordon Ramsay, all would have popped round the cabin, Tyson Fury and Al Foran, all in one night.
down to Montana.
Monaghan Tana.
It's definitely up there. It really was entertaining. I really enjoyed the crack. What a legend Al is.
Al's an absolute gentleman.
Yeah, like
We couldn't recommend Al enough.
no, he's a sound lad, and he's a bit of knowledge of everything between
Serious
football
knowledge.
to music to wrestling to just general chit chat.
And if you really enjoyed that podcast, we're not ashamed to plug other people on our podcast. Go and check out Al's podcast.
yes,
Al is a new podcast.
that's right. Yeah, you get it all on his socials. He is a real fun lad, and I tell you what, he's one of the best impressionists in the world.
He definitely is. There is no doubt about that.
Performed in front of Ronaldo.
Yeah, Fat Ronaldo as well. Ronaldo Nazario. Eminem.
Getting the inside on that Fury tour as well, you
It
know.
was good fun. Yeah, some of those stories that he told us were absolutely brilliant. weren't
Fucking
they?
gold, yeah, absolutely.
We'll be-
Vince McMahon, he met.
Yeah. At the Saudi Arabia
Yeah, the WrestleMania.
WrestleMania as well. In Philadelphia, I think he went to the one in.
Yeah, no.
That would have been something else.
And a big United fan, you can't beat that.
Huge United fan.
Yeah.
Huge music fan.
Yeah.
And movie soundtrack fan.
Yeah.
An absolute wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, please God, we'll get him back again, maybe down the line, or maybe season 3 or 4. We'll see how we go. But yes, we hope you enjoyed that episode. And what can really help us is if you can tell a friend about the podcast, share it, give us a review, you know.
And if you can send us €20 on Revolut to 087.
Yeah, we are opening up our Patreon, but look, there'll be links for the Patreon, and if the Patreon is something that you can't afford, the best way that you can help it is what I just said. Share it, tell a friend, do them few bits. It takes 2 seconds and it can help us down the line. So until next week,
Enjoy yourselves. And look after yourselves. Behave.
say a prayer.
Say a prayer for the two of us.
Good luck.
That the goukie won't get you. Good luck.